The success of the Plainsmen and Pacers begins with teamwork. The teamwork you will find at the Armstrong Agency of Equity Assurance Group. Estate planning is a comprehensive business. For over 40 years, they have brought together different elements of a complex activity into a relationship that will ensure efficiency and harmony by coordinating licensed, qualified, experienced professionals to provide proper estate planning for their clients. That is the definition of a winning team. The Armstrong Agency of Equity Assurance Group, 102 South Van Buren, Suite B, or online at equityassuranceGroup.net.
7 record. We have on Enid and Guthrie, and you're locked into Game Time. You're home for Enid, Plainsman football.
Physicality, gang tackling. We'll have to pick our opportunities to pressure the quarterback and, try to make them guess what we're going to do. Should be a great night for football, good weather, a lot of excitement, and here we go.
Guthrie High School history.
The Blue Jays.
Class 5A state champions are your very own Guthrie Blue Jays for the 3rd time in school history, and they dashed onto the field.
Motion to the left side, they run to the left side. Alexander across the 5, to the 1, touchdown! Ide Alexander!
And for the 4th time in school history, the Guthrie Blue Jays are your Class 5A state champions and shacked up the band one final time.
One thing that will never be replaced is
Physicality, gang tackling. We'll have to pick our opportunities to pressure the quarterback and make them guess what we're going to do. Should be a great night for football, good weather, a lot of excitement, and here we go.
We need to start fast. We got a lot of new faces on the offense this year, and we just got to get off the ball and see what happens.
Man off their seat.
It's now
Strike of the man.
on the Guthrie Radio Network.
It's time to go.
Three, two, one.
Guthrie Blue Jay Football 2017 is brought to you by Terra Insure Group, insuring your world. Interbank, what's going on now at your hometown bank? Golden Chip, the original.
Okay, there shouldn't be any playback or look back. Sound okay?
Well, yeah. Here's me.
Okay.
Test, 1,
Okay.
2, test, test, test.
Let me Phil one more time.
Test, 1, 2, test, test.
You're good.
Go try to talk to Luke.
Okay. That was our field guide. You hear that, Luke?
No, you gotta go to A.
Yeah.
Yes.
You heard that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. How am I coming through?
We got that lead going again now.
Yeah, well, you're going to get one whenever we're talking to you because there's a loop to it. I'm going to turn it off, and then I'm going to turn it back on here in a second. All right, Phil, I'm going to tell you when to talk. Okay, I am talking now. You should be getting no loop at this point. Phil, go ahead and talk. Philip, are you there? No, Phil, but he'll be okay. Let me. Yeah, and then, okay, Luke, I'm getting ready to turn it back over. You're getting ready to get an echo here in just a second. You should have an echo right now. Sounds good? Okay, so we're good. I can't hear him, though.
4105 South Division.
The Interbank.
It's 108 yards rushing.
Because that's us. But what I'm saying is, okay.
John Vance. John Vance Auto Group. Guthrie. Only 10 minutes north of Edmond, exit 153.
On the other side, Coach Beatty returns to the Oklahoma Farm Bureau Coaches Corner and shares his final thoughts on tonight's game.
Maine, right here.
Welcome back to the Interbank Blue Jay Kickoff Show and the Oklahoma Farm Bureau Coaches Corner. Oklahoma Farm Bureau is your central location. For all of your insurance needs, contact Merritt Roberts, 282-2266. That's at Oklahoma Farm Bureau. Oklahoma Farm Bureau living beside you. Working for you, as we promised, we now bring in the Blue Jay head coach for the final time, Kelly Beebe. We talk about tonight's opponent, the Enid Plainsman coach, and anytime you talk about them, you got to talk about just absolutely boot leather tough kids, and then Will Phillip.
Yeah, Enid's got an outstanding ball club. They continue to improve under Coach Hayes. Came in from Texas 3-4 years ago. They'll present a massive offensive line, 325, 290, 285. And then they got one of the better backs in the state of Oklahoma, Will Phillips, jersey number 1. You know, it's a big challenge for us because they're a spread offense, and they do have the ability to throw the ball. But if you don't have numbers in the box to stop that old tailback who's about 6'2", it can be a long night. Turn around. Defensively, they're a split defense, 4-man front, which we see less and less of. We see more, 50 fronts, 3-4 fronts. So the blocking angles are different. We've been, repping that and working it, and feel like we got a good plan going in. As always, we feel like we got to possess the football and get first downs and keep their offense off the field. And then we need to make an impact in the special teams tonight. We got a veteran punter and kicker in David Vargas, and we need to use that as a weapon for us as we go into the night.
I know you've worked on a little bit of new offense in the offseason, Coach. Anything you want to give away here in the Enid Blue Jay Kickoff Show?
Well, first downs win ball games, Casey, and that's what we're going to go out and try to get. Turn those first downs into long drives and into touchdowns, and then play great defense and get after them best we can.
Coach, appreciate it. Best of luck tonight.
Thank you.
That's the Blue Jay head coach, Kelly BB. Fans will pause, but don't go away. We have a lot more here on the Enid Blue Jay Kickoff Show. That kickoff show from the Guthrie Radio Network continues in a moment.
Hey, Blue Jay fans, Eskridge Chevrolet is a proud supporter of Guthrie High School sports. This season, Eskridge Chevrolet at I-35 in Guthrie is cheering you the whole way and will help you score a game-winning deal in getting the new or used vehicle that you need. Don't worry about your credit history. Eskridge Chevy can get you approved. Come see us at Eskridge Chevrolet, just a short drive to I-35 in the Guthrie exit on Division Street. Call 1-800-NEW-CHEVY or visit EskridgeChevy.com.
I'm Brian Sturkle with Interbank. You can bank on Guthrie's home team, the banking professionals at Interbank. Our decision makers and the people who serve you work closely together to provide responsible service and personal attention. We appreciate your business and look forward to seeing our friends in Guthrie and the surrounding communities at the Blue Jay football games. We're located at 224 East Oklahoma, or you can reach us by phone at 282-0470. Interbank, in it for you. Member FDIC.
Now, let's go live to the stadium with the call of tonight's game. Here's Chris Evans, Casey Porter, Phil Nichols, and Craig Fleck.
Deep Bruce Selby Stadium, Enid, Oklahoma. Season opener for the Guthrie Blue Jays here in Enid, Oklahoma. So glad to have you on board. Enid High School marching band down on the field. The American flag making its way onto the field as well. Here in a matter of moments, we'll have tonight's national anthem here. A lot of rain back in Logan County, Casey, but not a drop here in Enid.
Yeah, absolutely. Just beautiful rain this afternoon back in Guthrie land. Watched it rain outside the window as we were taking our first test of the year.
Yep.
Yes, we did have our first test of the year, U.S. History Porters class. So watched it rain all afternoon. That was awesome. Had about an inch of rain in the Guthrie area. No rain here. It wouldn't have mattered anyways. It's an artificial surface. Yes. It's an absolutely gorgeous evening.
Let's go downstairs with tonight's national anthem. And there you have tonight's national anthem performed by the Enid High School Marching Band, Garfield County. We look out our window here on the press box, on the visitor side press box. There's two press boxes on here at Deep Bruce Selby Stadium. We're on the visitor side, obviously. We look across the way and see the home press box. But as we look out our window, we've got a beautiful view of downtown Enid. And as you mentioned, Casey, beautiful artificial turf. And Blue Jays have played here a few times. The first time in this recent series, 2010, back and forth game, Landry Chapel and
the Devontae Coley game, right?
Devontae Coley, Cantrell. They couldn't get a win, but since that night, with a 2-year hiatus, the Blue Jays have won 4 out of the 5 in this series.
I can't say that's the greatest regular season game that I've ever seen as far as a Guthrie game goes, because the Blue Jays did not win. But if you took out wins and losses and you did not care which team won, right, I think for a regular season game, that was the most entertaining game that Guthrie has ever played in 2010 right here. Devontae McCauley catches a post pattern with about 1:10 to go to give the Blue Jays the lead. It seems like there were 4 touchdowns in the last 2 minutes, something like that. And it was just back and forth, and it was a fabulous game. The Blue Jays were not able to come away with a victory on the road. Enid has struggled since then. I mean, what do they have, like 6 wins?
16 in the last 5.
Yeah, 16 in their last 5 wins, excuse me. So this is a program that's really trying to build under their coach that came over from Texas a couple of years ago, installed the spread offense, installed a stacked 40 front defense with, those bands are a little bit hot. Let me turn those down for right now as they're right in front of you. They installed a 40 front stacked defense with alley players, which is odd. They're going to have a lot of single high safeties. I think the Blue Jays have schemed that pretty well and have a lot of packages to go to, plus the OTB stuff that we have not addressed. OTB stands for on the ball. I think you're going to be hearing a lot of that. The offense for the Blue Jays, as far as X and O's, isn't going to be a whole lot different than in the past, but the tempo is. Yeah. They went from actually calling plays to hand signals, and the Blue Jays, much like we've seen in the college game, can change tempos at any time that they want, and I think that's going to be a big advantage.
And don't forget, Enid runs an up-tempo offense as well.
Yes.
And we'll get to Enid here in a little bit, but we'll bring in Phil Nichols here in just a matter of moments as well down on the sideline. Both teams won scrimmage last week. It's week 0, so that one scrimmage goes away. But you look at the Plainsman last week's scrimmage, Bixby, and Coach Steve Hayes of Enid, this is his 3rd year. He said that's the best scrimmage we've ever had since here. Blue Jays had Douglas and Bishop Kelly, so both teams saw good competition, and we'll see how it plays out here in the first game. Of course, no special teams for the Jays last week.
I don't know how good the scrimmage was for Enid overall. Obviously, their coach was very impressed with it. I do know how good it was for the stud, thoroughbred running back they have, Will Phillips.
Yeah.
He took a screen pass and went about 65 yards and made a very, very good Bixby defense look very pedestrian. He is the real deal.
No doubt about that. He's a junior. He's a 6', 200-pound running back. He'll play offense, he'll play defense, he'll play special teams. With more on that, let's go downstairs with Phil Nichols. And Phil, he's the real deal down there.
Well, guys, I stood next to him in pre-games. I know we got him listed at 6', 200. He's a little bigger boy than that, I'll tell you right now. He's full grown, and he looks the part. He looks like those cats that play on Saturday mornings.
Yeah, we saw him last year, Phil, and he got to do something against the Rick Mashir special teams that hadn't happened in a long time, and that was return a punt for a touchdown.
Yeah, he's special, like Casey talked about in their scrimmage last week. I mean, against Bixby, just made a very, very good Bixby defense look very pedestrian. But he's a legitimate kid. The Blue Jays are going to have to gang tackle and really play as a complete unit to hold this kid down tonight.
Hey, every team that Enid faces, take that pressure off of him.
Yeah, no doubt. And if all you can do is run the ball against a Kelly Beebe-led defense, he'll figure out how to fit that thing up, how to blitz to the right gap, how to read formations, down and distance, what hash mark are you on, and dial up the right kind of pressure to bubble Will Phillips. And Phil will tell you, as big as this kid is, last time that I was here, our 8th graders actually were playing this Enid team with Will Phillips on it. And I can tell you, he was 6'2", 200 pounds that night. He's not 6'2", 200 right now. He's grown since then. And the way that you deal with a back like this is that you make him run sideways. So that interior, the TNT, tackle, nose, tango, and then especially the mics and ends, they've got to get some penetration. Get Phillips's shoulders pointed to the sideline, not towards the goal line. Make him run sideways, let the safeties and corners get downhill. Phil?
Yeah, guys, I mean, I agree with you, Case. I mean, somebody else is going to have to step up because we will be keying on the Phillips kid all night. And, we can't forget about our Blue Jays. I mean, we got a bunch of – this offseason's been one of the most intense that we've ever seen at Guthrie over the last 20 years. They've worked these kids to the brink of exhaustion. So our boys are definitely – the conditioning will be important tonight like it is every year in the first game. I like our kids' chances from a conditioning perspective, so – it should be one well of a ball game.
Yeah, I'll tell you one thing, though. You mentioned conditioning, and the weather has been just so beautiful here in August. it almost worries you as a football coach that it hasn't been quite as hot. You wonder what your conditioning will be like.
Yeah, you don't really know. I mean, typically in Oklahoma, it's probably 10, 15 degrees hotter right now than what we've been having. But I think if you talk to the kids, they would rather play in this than that, right? So
absolutely.
But you're right. We don't really know until we get out there and really get into that, deep into the third quarter, into the fourth quarter. That's when we'll find out if, did December through August, did those hours in the weight room, did those hours running agility drills, that's when that'll pay off.
Hey, Phil, that's a great-looking hat, brother. Where'd you get it?
I think I got it from a baseball coach.
What a beautiful evening. This is one of the special atmospheres to me. Of course, when you think of all the great players that have come through here, P.J. Mills and all these guys, as you look down the list, all of the great players. I remember they had a Fields kid, and it's always highlighted by Lydell Carr, a guy that every time we talk about in the high school huddle, greatest high school football player, in my opinion, ever to exist and play in this state.
Well, I can tell you right now, if Lydell Carr and his brother is down towards the bottom of that list, it's a pretty darn good list.
Yep, Sean Mills, P.J. Mills.
Absolutely.
Ken Mendenhall, Harry
Keelan.
Jones, Jim Riley, Jerry Keelan, Stan West, Homer Leon. That's not their best town. When I think of Enid, and I mentioned this to Coach Beebe.
Community is a cool community. I was over talking to some of the Enid kids. You could see them all over there dressed in the white, and they're having fun, and the atmosphere is incredible, and this is what high school football is all about. The whole community's out having fun. Guthrie looks like they traveled pretty good, and so it's going to be a good night.
And, Guthrie obviously has not won a state title since 2013, but the Blue Jays, that G on that still brings a lot of excitement to opposing communities, doesn't it?
I'm pretty sure they put them up and want to go get them.
This is the Interbank Blue Jay kickoff show, and Phil, we talked a little bit about the Blue Jays here, coming off a 6-5 campaign a year ago. They were young a year ago. They're young again this year. Only 12 seniors on the roster. We think 3, maybe 4 play defense, 3 or 4 might play offense. A lot of stuff junior this year.
Yeah, I was talking to Coach Kelly Beebe in pregame, and you're right. Got 6 or 7 seniors that are going to contribute throughout the year. So this junior class that you're talking about, now juniors, they're going to have to rise to the occasion. I spoke to some of the kids in the pregame. Little different attitude, a little different look in their face. They're not quite as overwhelmed by the situation as they were last year, so a little more comfortable. Dane Jenkins, of course, one of those kids that is going to have a huge, huge impact on the outcome of this game, and many others, obviously.
We continue our conversation here on the Interbank Blue Jay kickoff show. Coming up here in a matter of moments, we'll have our Escort Chevrolet's keys to the game, as well as our Mercy Health report coming up here in a few moments.
Yeah, and that Mercy Health report.
Not good.
Yeah, Phil will bring it to you here in a minute, but we talked about, the limited amount of seniors that will actually start tonight, and there is one senior, the guy that we think is probably the best pound-for-pound athlete on this team, that will not be suited up tonight. We'll the Mercy Health Center report. But we're getting ready to bring you the coin toss. Mr. Phil Nichols is going to walk out with the captains this evening. Gavin Bryson. I say, who are the captains there, Phil?
Looks like number 5, Gavin Bryson. Number 16, Gabe Gonzalez. Isaac Lewis, jersey 1, not suited out. That's a hint on our Mercy Health report. And number 14,
Marquise Miller.
Jay Sean Sears. Number 2, Mason Scrummager. He's the quarterback. And number 44, Ivy Mace. Let's go downstairs tonight's coin toss. As the captains shake hands on the E logo in the middle of the field.
Congratulations on being chosen as captains for tonight's game. Of course, with that comes responsibilities. If anybody starts to get excited, if you would help us out with that, we would appreciate it. All right? We want you to play as hard as you possibly can, but only play till the man's down on the ground or you hear the whistle. And finally, if one of your guys gets tackled, please have them hand the ball to the nearest official. All right? Sound good? The airplane's the head, stripes are the tail. Airplane head, stripes tail. Guthrie, you're a visitor. It's your call. What'd you say?
Tails.
What did you say? Tails. You said tails.
Guthrie called tails.
His head.
Yes, Phil.
Looks like we're going to be kicking the pigskin.
Enid won the toss, and they elected to receive. Is that correct?
Well, I think so.
Yeah.
I guessed right. How about that?
That tells you about the unit that they think is the best on their team, huh? You win the toss. Most teams elected to defer. I know Coach Beebe would. Instead, Enid elects to receive.
Real quickly, before we get to our keys to the game presented by S-Grade, let's go downstairs with Phil Nichols with tonight's Mercy Health Report.
Guys, as you talked about earlier, Chris, of course, Isaac Lewis, who I think is a consensus, we think probably the best all-around athlete on the field. We don't know when or if we're going to get Isaac back this year. Got a few other kids banged up, beat up a little bit, but Isaac's the big one. It's going to hurt us on both sides, really, all three phases of the game.
Yep.
That is your Mercy Health Report. Not a good way to kick it off this year with one of your top players injured on the sideline.
No doubt about it. And I have him in class for the second year in a row, and obviously coached him in junior high. He played some baseball last spring for me. Know the kid very well. What a sweet human being he is. And he's just devastated, man. And just looking at him and the look on his face just sitting in class, it just crushes you to look at him. But so good, so it goes, and you got to move on, right? I mean, and even he would tell you that. So you got to move on and play, and that's what the Blue Jays are going to do this evening.
Looking at the quarterbacks tonight, pair of juniors, of course, Jackson Waddell returning for his second year for the Blue Jays. Mason Scrimmager got a little bit of action a year ago. Had a coming out party against those Deer Creek Antlers, one of the 3 wins last year for the Enid Plainsmen and pair of juniors, and we'll see how that plays out as both come back with experience, and both will have to lead their offenses here and lean on their defense.
And I know it's junior high, but this is the second time that Jackson has played a football game on this field, and just from an environment perspective, I think that will help him.
And here come the Enid Plainsmen onto the field as you heard the Guthrie Blue Jay fight song. Jays have already come on, and we're just moments away from kicking off the 2017 season. So glad to have you on board here on Hot 93.7 FM KSBI, and of course across the world. You can listen to Singapore or Germany, wherever you might want to, Italy, wherever you might want to be. GuthrieSportsPage.com, GuthrieNewsPage.com.
Love that song.
Yep, absolutely.
Love that song. The Blue Jay fight song. Hopefully we hear it a lot tonight, which would mean the Blue Jays are hitting pay dirt, golden goalposts, and scoring a lot, but the Blue Jays will not have first shot at scoring first tonight because Enid won the toss and elected to receive.
Guthrie High School Marching Band comfortable tonight. They're in the jeans and blue T-shirts out there, so comfortable night for them. And of course, the Blue Jays will return home next week when the Shawnee Wolves come to town. Then the Ponca City Wildcats will come in after that. The Blue Jays will have a bye, and then district play begins with Carl Labrat at home. So after tonight, Jays at home for 3 straight home games.
Yep.
Of course, that means 3 of the last 4 are away, and we'll pout about that later on.
Yeah, but they're winnable games.
Yes,
so, I mean,
absolutely.
down the stretch sets up well. You got to make it through these first 5 games alive, right?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Blue Jays in a home white uniforms with blue numbers, silver helmets, blue face masks, that G on the side. Enid Plainsmen, dark blue jerseys on top, white numbers, white pants, silver helmets with the blue stripe down the middle. Game time temperature 74 degrees. Winds out of the northeast at 6 miles per hour. And here come the Enid Plainsmen onto the field. Blue Jays are ready to kick this one off. David Vargas will kick off at the 40-yard line from left to right.
For the first time in 2017, here come your Men in Black kickoff style. Phil, are you ready? Chris, you ready?
Let's do it.
Let's get it on, huh?
David Vargas waiting for the scoreboard to go down to 0 seconds.
Yep.
Referee's going to let it go. He's got a couple, 2 or 3 radio stations here, so they're going to let this one start exactly at 7 o'clock. Actually, I looked down at 7:01, so we're a few minutes late, but that's okay. It was not a sellout crowd by any means. There's still maybe half on the far side of Enid fans. Guthrie fans, about 35-40% full on the visitor side.
It is an awesome atmosphere, though. This facility, D. Bruce Selby Stadium, is one of the neat atmospheres that you can go to.
David Vargas will kick left to right, looks to his left, looks to his right, one hand in the air. Bring just putting it into the clock. Wow, we're ready to go, ready to go.
Let's get it on, huh?
David Vargas approaches the football, and we're underway. 2017 Guthrie High School football. The kick will bounce at the 4, and it'll bounce all the way to the 1-yard line, picked up at the 1. Jays inside the 5, will come around the 7-yard line. And here comes the Blue JD for the game, and got his
gang tackling. We'll have to pick our opportunities to pressure the quarterback and, try to make them guess what we're going to do. Should be a great night for football, good weather, a lot of excitement, and here we go.
Base receivers to 10 from the 6 and off to Phillips, trying to get the edge. Stiff arm at the 10, out of bounds near the down and 2. First carry for Will Phillips.
Phil got to see it firsthand, but that's the problem with a guy like him. He's so fast and physical that he's so fast you don't get first contact till he's 5 yards downfield. Then he's so physical that you don't get him down for another 3. So what looked like a well-defensed play ends up being 8 yards.
Second down and 2, same formation, receivers to the right this time. Phillips breaks a couple tackles as he goes across the 20, up near the 23-yard line, and the Plainsmen will have a first down.
You know, in the day of specialty and spread offenses, to have a back that can outrun you to the corner and then also run the ball inside the tackles and out-physical you, that's kind of a dinosaur. You don't see that a whole lot anymore, but I assure you, pick number 1, Mr. Will Phillips, has the entire package.
Two-back set, handoff to Phillips again. Left side, breaks the tackle, 25-30. Hit hard, tackled by the Blue Jay, number 9. That's Richard Doolittle, 6'2", 155-pound sophomore.
And he saw Troy Branson from his linebacker spot just scrape the edge, and he just simply didn't have enough foot speed to get to Phillips, and Phillips was able to get the corner.
Another 8-yard pickup for Phillips. Enid already on the football as the play clock's put in. Second down and 1. Scrimmager to throw for the first time. Comes to the near side. Caught at the 41-yard line. Pushed out of bounds by the Blue Jay cornerback 26. That's going to be C.J. Ward.
And that's the problem whenever you're able to run the ball and get in short yardage situations on second down. Now that's when Scrimmager can pass when Enid wants to pass and he gets comfortable in the pocket and finds an open receiver.
9-yard reception. 10-yard. There's a fumble on the play. Scrimmager jumps back on it as a miscommunication between the running back and quarterback. Almost picked up by Doolittle, but Scrimmager able to jump on top of it.
Yeah, one of those reads where Scrimmager is kind of like the old veer play where you're reading that defensive end, and Phillips thought that it was a take read, and instead the quarterback thought it was a give read, and they miscommunicated.
Loss of 1, second down 11, play action. Scrimmager looks to throw, has a man wide open, caught at the 42, 45, 54 sideline, pushed out of bounds in around the Guthrie 40-yard line. First down and 10, Plainsmen.
Well, that good old-fashioned waggle play where you fake that stretch that the Plainsmen have run twice, then you bootleg it back the other way to an H-back, fullback, and or a tight end. The backside safety's playing run, so there's nobody there. That's just a great play. That waggle cannot be defensed.
Scrimmager wants to throw it again here on first down and 10. Here comes the Blue Jay pressure, gets away from Doolittle. Scrimmager still rolling out of the pocket, throws it on the run, and it's caught, but is it out of bounds? I think it is. It's incomplete anyway, and it's an incomplete pass. 10-17 to play, opening quarter. Enid Plainsman on the opening drive.
You can already feel the tempo. You feel like even as a broadcaster, you're just having to do everything faster than what you're really wanting to do on the first possession of a season. So Enid, that up tempo, especially when they're able to run the ball, is very tough to defend.
Richard Doolittle very active so far for the Jays defense.
Very good athlete.
Little pass caught at the 40, out to the 35, and right down near the 30-yard line on the tackle for the Blue Jays. Hector Gooseby, the 5'9", 140-pound sophomore.
Yeah, you've had stretch plays, then you've had the waggle off of the stretch play, and then you've had just little simple quick screens. And it's not complicated, but it works because they're at such a high tempo you can't make any adjustments defensively.
Pick up a third down and 1, and the Blue Jays left side of the defensive line jumped, and the first penalty of the night will cost the Blue Jays 5 yards and a first down. Plainsmen getting close to the red zone.
I can tell you why else they have good talent.
Yeah.
Scrimmager, not a great arm, but very efficient, and he's able to have a quick release on those quicks and bubbles and all those screen plays. And then anytime you have the threat to run the ball with number 1, Will Phillips, all of those quicks and screens, waggles, anything misdirection is really deadly.
Play action. Scrimmager at the far side led the on the coverage for the clock at 10:05 here in the first.
But imagine they'll just turn around and hand it off here. This will act as their first down play.
4 receiver set. Handoff Phillips up the middle, busts a tackle, runs over a couple Blue Jays from the 26 all the way to the 17, close to the 18-yard line. So it'll be a 7 or 8 yard pickup depending on the spot.
The reason why you do that, you're in no man's land in high school football. You don't want to kick a field goal from here, so you can throw it on first down in that point. So basically that second down play was the first down play for Enid. They knew they had 3 more downs to get the first, so you hand it off up the middle, and Phillips gets 9 yards.
Third down and a long 2. Scrimmager option play. Options it off to Hughes at the 15. Gets the corner out to the 10. Hit hard out of bounds, but not before a first down. Marcellus Owens with the tackle as Williams has it first and go, first down and 10, first down and go for the Plainsmen.
Problem with that is you got it both tackle nose tango, and both linebackers have to play that dive with Phillips. The end of that way has to play the quarterback, so all you're left with is a safety that way to chase it down.
Phillips trying to stretch it on first and go from the 6, gets away from Doolittle with the stiff arm, still to the 5, leapfrogs. Did he get in? No, stepped out of bounds at the 5-yard line. And this opening drive for the Enid Plainsmen feels like a Big 12 opening drive with those offenses, the way they go up and down the field on their opening drive.
And the thing about it is that was the first time we mentioned in the keys of the game. First time Will Phillips had to turn sideways and face the sideline, which means that he's running sideways. It's the first time the Blue Jays were able to make him do that, and that's why he didn't get in.
Pick up 1, second down and go from the 5. Scrimmager look to throw for it, far side. Touchdown, Enid with the reception for the Plainsman, Damian Riemann, the sophomore, 6-0 Enid.
Yep, and you say, well, Coach Beebe will make the adjustments. First drive, we see that some with his defense till he and his guys in the booth and on the sideline can see what they're doing, but really, I mean, that was not complicated offense. It was stretch, it was waggle off a stretch, it was lead play, it was power, and then it was just quick outs and just quick. So not complicated, but very good when it's all set up by your running back, Will Phillips.
Extra point for the Plainsmen. Good snap, good hold. The kick is plenty long enough, and it is good. Enid on top, 7-0, 9-10 to play in the opening quarter here in Enid. Timeout from Enid. This is Blue Jay football on Hot 93.7 FM, KSBI.
Gundy, head football coach of the Oklahoma State Cowboys. Respect of the opponent, spectators, coaches, and officials is necessary at all levels of athletics and activity programs. Conduct is a direct reflection of your community's ability. Do the right thing.
F&M Bank is a neighborhood bank with 8 branches and 17 ATM locations across 4 counties in central Oklahoma. F&M Bank can help you with all of your personal, business, and agricultural banking needs, or simply add efficiency to your business. Check out F&M Bank with online and mobile banking at www.fmbankok.com or download their app and have all of their services in the palm of your hand. F&M Bank is a neighbor you can count on. F&M Bank, member FDIC.
Enid Plainsman, just like that, Casey. 14 plays to go about yards.
Not complicated. Hey, here comes Will Phillips, and then off of that, whenever you have to devote your entire front 7 to stopping the run, then you run a little option, you run a quick, you run an out, and the next thing you know, you scored.
We'll get to the scoring summary here after this kickoff. Plainsman will kick right to left on the radio dial. Blue Jays will get their first offensive try here in a matter of moments as the kick is underway. Back deep for the Jays, and C.J. Ward picks it up at the 3, gets out to the 10-yard line, going to the far side, trying to stretch out, going backwards all the way to the 5, trying to get the corner, and brought down at the 11-yard line. And we talked to Coach Scott Mick. We got a penalty flag down. We will wait to get that. But let's get to Coach Scott Mick first and get his thoughts on the opening drive here for the Blue Jays.
We need to start fast. We got a lot of new faces on the offense this year, and we just got to get off the ball and see what happens.
Get off the ball. That means that the Blue Jays need to set, much like Enid did, their offense up with the Blue Jays. 14 plays, 95 yards, 2 minutes and 50 seconds.
It's the Blue Jays, so it will back them up in the shadow of their own end zone. The ball will be officially marked at the 7-yard line. Here comes Jackson Waddell, the Blue Jay offense. Jackson, shotgun snap to him, hands it off to the running back, Gavin Bryson, going backwards for the goal line, able to break a tackle, another flag as he gets back to the line of scrimmage, and you would certainly think, as Gavin had to go cutting across the line, that might be a hold against the Jays offense. 5 or 15, looks like it's going to be out to the 16-yard line.
Boy, that's big. Gavin Bryson gets his first carry as the feature back. Now, he's had some runs and carries as a Blue Jay, but the first carry as a feature back, which he is this year for the Blue Jays, and it up back against the goal line, and Enid had it stuffed. He was able to break off a tackle, so getting that penalty is big to get a bunch of young Blue Jays some confidence.
First down and a short 2. Jackson run for it on the left side, across the 20, stays on his feet to the 25, spun down at the 30-yard line. Nice run there by the junior, close to a 15-yard pickup.
Yeah, and here comes the tempo, especially after a first down. You see that a lot in college. After a team gets a first down or a big play, that's when they like to get right back up on the football and run the next play before the defense has time to make any adjustments.
3 receiver set, shotgun for Jackson Waddell. Gavin Bryson on his right side. He'll hit off to Gavin, goes to the left and hit a yard behind the line of scrimmage. Gavin didn't hit the hole hard as he saw the defense coming at him. It's going to be a loss on the play.
You know, the first play, Enid had it stuffed up the middle. Gavin was able to break a tackle. Second play, to me, I know Jackson got the first down, but it looked like a broken play that Jackson just improvised on and just kind of tilted the field and got the first down. So the offense has looked a little bit helter-skelter early on the first 3 plays.
Loss of 1, second down 11. Jackson rolls to his right, throws it, caught at the 35, down at the 37. Nice catch there by Cade Gudesberg, 5'6", 140 pounds, sophomore.
And he saw Marcellus go in on that quick slant, then Gudesberg come out on the quick out, and Marcellus really picked the safety trying to cover Cade, and it worked very well. Jackson delivered as Gudesberg came open.
7-yard reception. Third down and 3 as Jays will check the sideline. 3 Blue Jay coaches will show signals. Only one of them's hot, though.
Yep, you're going to see a lot of quick sprint outs and a lot of just passes where the ball gets out of Jackson Waddell's hand very fast before the rush has a chance to get to him.
Third down and 3. Jackson keeps it, hit for a loss beyond the 35, back to the 34. It's a loss of 4. Jays will have a 4th down and 7 play upcoming. 7:22 to play, opening quarter. Enid on top 7-0.
Yeah, I don't think there's any doubt about this. You have to punt, although you know that the way Enid runs offense and the amount of plays they can click off, you don't want them to have the ball the entire first half, because if you let them run 45 to 50 plays, as physical as Will Phillips is as he returns deep for the punt, they will absolutely wear down the Blue.
Phillips back at his own 35-yard line. Down to the 44-yard line. Could have been a lot worse. 22-yard net, but it looked like it might have been 2 points for the other team.
Yeah, and, you know, Coach Beebe mentioned it, and as a fan, you always go, special teams, punters, kickers, whatever. You know, when you're talking about a football game, when you have an experienced kicker like David Vargas, it does make a big difference, because a lot of kids would have panicked, maybe put a knee on the ground, giving Enid the ball inside the 10-yard line, but Vargas stayed calm, got off a 22-yard net. Good play by him in class too, so good kid.
Yeah, did a great job there, keeping the Plainsman out of the end zone. 4 receiver set for the Plainsman. Hand off to Phillips, right side, has a gap, cuts it to the outside midfield. He has a lot of room to run at the 40, 35, 25, 20, 15, and haul down inside the 10. Plainsman knocking on the door again, already on top, 7-0, 6:26 to play first quarter.
Not even a power play. Nobody even pulled. That's just a simple base play off right tackle. And, you know, those double down on the nose, kick out. Do we have an injury of Phillips?
Looks like that's Will Phillips, the star running back. He's played as a freshman, played as a sophomore, obviously a junior, been one of their better players last couple of seasons.
One of those horse collar situations, too, where Marcellus was chasing from behind, kind of I'm not saying it was a horse collar, but that kind of effect where got a guy going full speed, you grab him from behind, and everything stops except for his legs, and sometimes that can get ugly.
Let's do this. Let's take a break down as we have an injury down on the field. Take a timeout here with 6:26 to play. Enid on top 7-0. It'll be first down and goal when we return from the 6-yard line. This is Blue Jay football on Hot 93.7 FM, KSBI.
At Terra Insure Group, you'll be helped by lifelong Blue Jay fans. Jason Herzl, Dennis Oaks, and Seth. They aren't limited to any single provider. They'll work with you to find the carrier and the plan that fits you best. Terra Insure Group is an independent insurance agency specializing in home, auto, and commercial lines of insurance. Call Terra Insure Group at 293-4880 or stop by at 2403 South Division or visit them online at tigok.com. Terra Insure Group, insuring your world.
When it comes to Guthrie Blue Jay Athletics, Hayes Funeral Home is a proud supporter from the first game all the way to the championship game. Along with many years of experience in funeral service, the Hayes family brings compassion and professional service during difficult times. Owners Chuck and Lynette Hayes take pride in providing families and their loved ones quality care. Chuck and Lynette have not only supported families in the Guthrie area for countless years, but have supported Guthrie student athletes succeeding on the playing field and in the classroom. Hayes Funeral Home is located on the corner of Noble and Wentz, or simply give them a call at 405-282-3100.
D. Bruce Selby Stadium, Enid, Oklahoma. Tough news for Enid fans as Will Phillips is needing help off the field, and you hate to see anybody get injured, but when you see one of the best in the state of Oklahoma get injured here in the first quarter of opening week, it's not good.
Yeah, no, that's not good at all. That puts a knot in your stomach. Of course, the Blue Jays have what we consider their best athlete out as well in Isaac Lewis. So, Turnabout's fair play, but what you worry about is obviously these first non-district games are warm-ups. They don't mean anything for playoffs' sake. You hope that it's not so severe that he can't come back at some point in this season, because I'm telling you, the way he's walking off just simply does not look good right now.
We'll resume action. Plainsman after that long run by Phillips.
The guy they bring in is not quite as physically as imposing as Phillips is he?
First down and go from the 6-yard line. Handoff on the left side to the 5, and still moving to the 4-yard line. The flag comes in late. Dane Jenkins in on the tackle.
One of those deals, too, as a defense, when you see that their best player is not out there, even if the guy behind him is really, really good, it just gives you so much confidence that you play much better. This is going to be a penalty on Enid. Enid's going to go back the other way, and you rally to the ball a little bit better as you play with confidence. And, boy, this was a huge, huge turn of events in this game, no doubt about it.
Will Phillips injured on that 50-yard run, Casey. Enid right now 9.9 yards per play.
Yeah, and they were running the ball up the middle. They were running the ball on stretch plays. They were able to play action off of all of that, and then they were able to get their quick passing game going. So Enid had anything and everything they wanted going offensively. Now you look up, and Will Phillips sitting in there. Number 23 is your running back, and he's not nearly as big. Jaden DeMaricut just 5'4", 140 pounds. That's a little bit different than what Mr. Will Phillips would give you at around what I think is about 225.
Penalty back to the 22, so it's first down and goal from the 22. Two back set with 3 wide receivers, 2 to the far side. Scrimmager, play action, little screen pass caught at the 22, and will be brought down around the 18-yard line. Nice open field tackle for the Blue Jays. Again, that's Hector Gooseby. He's had now a couple of nice open field tackles.
Hector Gooseby coming up as he saw that quick passing game. And now that you don't have to respect the alley as far as running, with Will Phillips out there, you can really get downhill faster on that passing game, drive on it, and not worry about getting burned. And Gooseby was able to do a great job of it.
Pick up a 5, second down and goal from the 17. 4 receivers, 3 to the near side. Scrimmager looking to throw. Comes to the near side, caught at the 8, to the 5, reaches for the pylon. Touchdown, Plainsman.
It's what you get with an experienced quarterback. Spin the ball. It's not a great spiral, but they just know the place to place it in at, and it gets to where it needs to get to. And with no wind, you really don't have to spiral it, because there's no resistance to stop it, and Scrimmager is able to put it on the outside shoulder. Golden goal post. Enid now looking to go up 14-0.
Williams with the touchdown reception for the senior. 5:32 to play in the first quarter. The extra point is on the way. Good snap, good hold. The kick is up, and it's good. 14-0 Enid Plainsman, just 28 seconds over the midway point of the first quarter. Timeout from Enid, Oklahoma. This is Guthrie Blue Jay football on Hot 93.7 FM, KSBI.
Has every slush flavor someone could ever want.
This is basically slush headquarters.
Where sour blue raspberry plans world domination.
Well, not if Lemonberry has anything to say about it.
Lemonberry, you're already sour. Come to the sour side.
Never. I'll never join you.
Refreshment just got colorful with new slush flavors like blue raspberry made with Nerds candy. And start your day with the 99-cent morning drink stop.
Sonic at I-35 and Highway 33.
This is how you Sonic.
Wouldn't it be nice to deal with the owner when you're buying a new car or truck? At John Vance Auto Group in Guthrie, we're family owned. That's why we can give you better deals that save you more money and give you better service after the sale.
Right now, save big on 2016 GMC, Cadillac, and Buick cars and trucks. Guthrie Blue Jays football is the best.
John Vance Auto Group in Guthrie, only 10 minutes north of Edmond, exit 153, or visit us online at vanceautogroup.com, where it's comfortable to buy a car.
Enid Plainsman, second time to get into the end zone. They need 56 yards, just 3 to Williams.
Nice. Can you hear me? I can't hear myself at all.
Kick. Ball's at the Guthrie 48, so it went plenty of distance unless they touched it before the 10 yards. So, of course, that scoring summary brought to you by John Vance Motors. John Vance Motors, where it's comfortable to buy a truck.
Which Guthrie would decline any and every penalty that they pop and take them at their own 47.5-yard line. That's going to be on Enid. If they can decline it, but it's a dead ball and Guthrie cannot about it.
The 40 thing off and risk that again.
Breaking in a bunch of kids that haven't played a whole lot of football. You're on the road, first game of the year. You've given up touchdowns on your first 2 possessions. Your first possession didn't look very good offensively other than one first. You wonder what the mentality's like on the sideline right now.
Let's go downstairs with tough news there as Enid kicks this one off again right to left. Marcellus Owens fields it at the 12-yard line, out to the 15 quickly, to the 20, center of the field 25, and slips at the 27-yard line. And the Blue Jays offense comes back onto the field for the second time here tonight, this time trailing 14-0, 5:25 to play, opening quarter.
Phil, you kind of get the feeling, and Coach Beebe hit on it, that the Blue Jays are going to need something special teams-wise to become up special to get them going in this game, don't you?
Yeah, we're going to have somebody right.
Even up to the line, a 20-yard pickup as Jackson Waddell spotted that one quick.
Yeah, that's the RPO game that the Blue Jays put in the offseason. You fake a run. Jackson has a pass option off that. If the safety sucks up and plays the run, you just hit that little hot pattern. Gugus was the hot man on that route. Jackson did a good job delivering.
Jackson now 2 of 2 passing on the night as he hands this one off to Gavin as he goes across midfield to the Enid 48-yard line. So the Jays in Plainsman territory for the
first run. They'll just sit back and play the pass all day, and the RPOs won't work.
5 yards on first down. Here's second down. Jackson on the quarterback lead play to the left side, stuffed at the 46. A 2-yard pickup, but on that first down play, 5-yard pickup. Coach Beebe says, got to win first down.
Got to win first down. It got you across midfield. It gave you a chance maybe to even think about 4-down territory. So if you win first down, especially in this part of the field, it's a big factor.
Ball's at the 46. The Blue Jays need the 43. 3rd down and 3. 4:25 to play, opening quarter. Forward receiver set. 3 to the far side. Waddell looks to throw, and it's incomplete at the line of scrimmage. Almost intercepted, as I think Jackson was looking for Marcellus, and now it's 4th down and 3. We'll see what the Jays do. It looks like they might go for it here.
That's the problem when you run those little quick RPOs to the inside receiver off of a run look. When you have a short quarterback, that means he's in the pocket and has to deliver it over a bunch of tall defensive linemen.
4th and 3. Jays go for it. Jackson looks to throw. Far side caught. Can he get to the first down marker? Gugensberg does across the 40. He had to break a tackle, and he did. Another big catch across the 40 out to the 38-yard line. 1st down and 10, Blue Jays.
Well, you're looking for a big first down. You're on the road. You're down 14-0. So who do you throw it to? Cade Gugensberg. Who's that? Right? Never heard of, but seen him play a lot of football in his day. He's a wonderful foot. That little inside slot that gets up on a safety or a linebacker and just out-quicks them all night long.
3 receiver set, 2 to the far side for quarterback Jackson Waddell. Kevin Bryson in the backfield. Jackson looking to throw, far side, caught by Marcellus, juggled it, but did come down with it, and he's down at 34-yard line. A short pick.
The RPO, you fake run, then you have the hot pattern just right down the field. That you have an out of that hot. Marcellus was the out route. Jackson hit him. Now you're in 3rd and manageable.
Ball's on the far hash mark. Blue Jays working toward the right side of your radio dial. Man in motion from left to right. That's Hinkle. Jackson rolls to his right. Though as the flag does come down on the far side, and another flag late coming in.
And it's going to be on the Blue Jays. It's going to be an illegal formation. There were only 6 men on the line. We'll get that call here in a second, and that's devastating because only having 6 on the line really did not affect the play. Yeah.
Legal motion on the Jays, and the second penalty is a sideline.
Just an gosh, those are the cannot make on the road.
And now it's 3rd down and 11.
And here comes the blitz.
Enid backed off from that as the ball was snapped. Whistles, don't see flags, but
I don't think everybody was set here. I don't think there's any problems here.
Appears to be the case there. The ball spotted at the 39-yard line. The Blue Jays need about the 28-yard line of Enid.
Jackson's the perfect spread offense. He's athletic, very smart. He's able to make quick reads, and he's very accurate passing the ball. Those to turn, yeah, it was, I know, but those, every time you see that, because those are the ones that go back the other way for 6.
Dane Jenkins checks in. He'll be the tight end on the right side. It's a 2-yard pickup. 4th down and 9 for the Blue Jays.
I feel like this is a huge play early in this game, don't you?
Absolutely.
Need to score, just answer.
Kel Kaufman in at receiver. He's in the near slot. 4th down and 9. Jackson rolls to the right side, throws it on the run, and never got to the receiver, Jenkins, but a flag thrown as Enid either came early or delivered a late hit. I thought he came a little bit early.
He did.
Either way, this is going against Enid. It's going to be a first down for the Blue Jays.
Well, that's not an automatic first down anymore. I think they changed that.
Certainly that's
so if it's a spot foul,
pass interference,
I don't think that's an automatic first down anymore is what I'm saying. As a spot foul, I don't know that would be a first down.
If it's 15 yards or a 10-yard penalty, it's going to be a first down. The referee's going to start at the 37-yard line.
Eyes on this. Get this thing in the end zone. Restabilize things.
Ball moves it to the 22-yard line. First down and 10 for the Jays. Second time they've been able to keep this drive alive on 4th down. And I think Enid jumps here off sides. Looks like big 77 jumped the gun there. Caleb Stanley, the 6'3", 285-pound sophomore.
Looks like a good old-fashioned Big 12 game, doesn't it? Up and down, tempo. Everybody's doing hand signals. A lot of RPO game, run-pass option, and a lot of
on the left side of Jackson.
Passing game sets up that inside rushing game. Then as you rush it inside, then you can pull it out and go back to the RPO. It all works off of each other.
Jays have ran 14 plays for 70 yards. Here's play 15. A little quick get to Gavin, hit hard as he will get across the 10.
Blue Jays running the ball inside on those power plays. And then the RPO's off of that, now trying to run a stretch play. And you know that Jackson will have something off of that where he can fake that boot back the other way and have another run pass option, whether he wants to run or get rid of it to Marcellus or Gugisberg back the other way.
3-yard pickup, second down and 7. 3 receivers, 2 to the near side, 1 to the far side. Jackson wants to throw it. Looking for Gugisberg, didn't get it to him. He is the
I think
a 3rd down and 7 play coming up.
That was intended to be an incomplete pass from Jackson. That's a quick slant that you are trying to hit as soon as you get the snap, and if it's not there, you just throw it in the dirt and see what you got on a 3rd down and 7. Good decision by Jackson Waddell just to throw that into the ground and live to see another day.
Jays trying to find pay dirt for the first time here tonight. The ball's at the 9-yard line. The Jays need the 2-yard line as they look at a 3rd down and 7 play. Enid Plainsman, 5 men on the line of scrimmage.
I think this is 4-down territory, being inside the 10.
Gugisberg into motion. They fake it to him. Jackson looking to throw. Nobody's open. Being patient, though. Tucks it, throws it the last second, looking for Marcellus, and overshoots Marcellus. And Jackson did a good job. Obviously, he wanted to complete it, but it was either Marcellus or nobody catching that one at the back of the end zone. However, it is incomplete. Here's 4th down and 7. Jays bring on the field goal unit.
If you could have got inside the 5, maybe inside the 2 or 3 yard line, I think you may have thought about going for it on 4th down, but being a full 7 yards, the odds are not in your favor to get that on a 4th down play. So you bring in your experienced kicker, David Vargas, and you get yourselves on the board.
Vargas will attempt a 25-yard field goal here. It is in the middle of the field, so that's good. As Jackson Waddell counts the numbers and will have to call a timeout. Jays didn't have enough men on, and timeout is Jackson counted in front of him and counted to 10, and we better take a timeout. Don't want to risk any coming off this board.
Phil, I know that you love macho football. You played a lot of it in your day, and this is why a lot of teams, especially
kicking team, man, you go for a field goal. We weren't very good athletes.
Is the holder once again this year. It's a low snap. Jackson able to get it. Vargas plenty long enough. It's up and it's good. And the Blue Jays are on the board for the first time in the 2017 season. On top now, trail now by a score of 14-3, 57.4 seconds to play here in the first quarter. We'll go ahead and leave it here as we'll get our next break in at the break. Enid Plainsman came out 10-0 in their first couple of drives, but the big note coming out of this one so far in the first quarter, we do believe devastating blow for Enid Plainsman and high school football, Phil.
Yeah, and I talked to a couple of the Enid guys down here. They are transporting him to a facility, and it was definitely an air cast. So usually when you see that, it's not something you're going to bounce right back from. Now they could be just being very cautious. Obviously, Will's being one of the best players in the state. You want to take care of a young man. You want to take care of all the kids.
Sure.
But, you want to take care of a young man like that, but it doesn't look good for him.
All right. That's a Mercy Health report. for the Enid Plainsmen. David Vargas set to kick this one off again for the second time in this ball game. Looks to his left, looks to his right, approaches football at the fine. It's a high. It'll be fielded at the 10-yard line on the far side, up to the 15, 20, toss at 25, breaking a tackle to the 29, flag thrown, and the Plainsmen will have it first down and 10. Where will they have it though? As the return man did get up to the 30-yard line, that being number 26 for the Plainsmen, Marlo Hughes, a senior, 6 foot. The Blue Jays opening here on the road. Next 3 games, though, will be inside Gelsma Stadium. And penalty. Plainsmen will back them up with 47.4 seconds to play here in the quarter. Blue Jays, 64 yards is capped off by a 25-yard field goal by David Vargas. 7 seconds now to play in the first. Jays within 11, 14-3. That's been your John Vance Motors scoring summary. John Vance Motors is comfortable to buy a truck.
Well, you did not get in the end zone, but you did get points, which meant you settle everything down. You got a little momentum back. Will Phillips is not available to Enid, so you have a window of opportunity.
Nice cover, C.J. Ward.
Skirmisher throws, I'm going to just say it point blank, a very ugly football. But whenever it's a beautiful August evening and really the wind is not a factor, that ball is able to get to the receiver. That one, he just thought that his receiver was going to run a stop. The receiver thought he was going to run a go, and they just miscommunicated.
Second down and 10 from the 25. It's a snap, handoff to the running back, trying to stretch it on the far side. Gets the corner across the 30, and finally brought down at the 35-yard line by Hector Gooseby, but he carried a couple Blue Jays for about 5 yards. It's going to be a first down.
We're seeing the effects of a 6A program. You know, you have one of the best backs in the state of Oklahoma, and Will Phillips. He's so dynamite, and he goes down. So what do? They just bring in a
Blue Jay tackler. Now he's going to run 40. What we would think would be the final play coming up for the Plainsmen. Again, Enid able to now average 9.6 yards per play. They got 192 yards of offense, 135 on the ground. Scrimger looks to throw, and he's going to be sacked from behind. Who got there first? It was number 36 for the Blue Jays, and he never saw it coming. Campbell Lee from the left side will end the first quarter on a nice sack with 3.7 FM. Dislocated ankle. Hold on 1 second, Phil.
I would welcome the opportunity to give you a professional evaluation of your insurance needs, or simply stop by and let's talk about the Jays.
I'm Brian Sturkle with Interbank. You can bank on Guthrie's home team. The banking together to provide forward to seeing our friends in Guthrie and the surrounding communities at the Blue Jay football games. We're located at 224 East Oklahoma, or you can reach us by phone at 282-0470. Interbank, in it for you. Member FDIC.
We're set for second quarter action here in beautiful Enid, Oklahoma, alongside Craig Fleck, Casey Porter. I'm Chris Evans. Enid Plainsmen will have a second down and 16 from their own 40-yard line.
And one back. That's not fair.
They fixed that. Scrimmager looks to throw, sets up a little screen toss here, caught at the 40, 45. Fumbles the football at the 49-yard line. It looks like the Plainsmen jump on it. It'll bring up a third down play.
Well, those long yardage situations, screener draw is always what you have to look out for. Enid got exactly what they wanted, which was 9 yards, which is just about exactly half of the distance they needed to get for the first down to give them at least a chance on 3rd and 8.
Ball's at the 49. Be a big stop here for the Jays defense. Excuse me, 3rd down and 8 from the 49. Another quick pass, caught, 45, first down and more. Across the 40, down to the 36-yard line. Pass caught by Williams, the young man who had the touchdown earlier. Today got a whole lot more than that. First down and 10, Plainsmen.
Had the sack on first down, had the missed tackle.
Plainsmen quickly back on top of the football. 4 receivers, another screen set up. Caught behind the line of scrimmage at the 41, across the 40. Driven out of bounds around the 35-yard line. Just a 1-yard pickup. It'll be second down and 9 for the Plainsmen.
Yeah, screens to backs usually don't work very well against Kelly BB defenses because that's a back out to the linebacker. And whenever he's already playing run and or a defensive end that way against a trip set, they already have responsibilities to cover those areas that you screen to. Blue Jays going to a 40 front here.
From one Blue Jay, here comes another Blue Jay and another Blue Jay. Dane Jenkins will officially get the score of the sack. I'm not where they're going to spot it at, but Blue Jays came from the left, came from the right for the sack.
Coach BB always
there, Ivy Mays for one.
Oh, but yet you don't, because the Blue Jay defense has been on the field so much that if you run tempo right here and go 3 and out, then you're really wearing your defense down. But that, I think,
for 11, Hayden Priest, it is a 1-yard pickup. So
gain control.
Jays from the line of scrimmage, to the east side. 3rd down and 10, just under 9. Play till halftime. Jackson to snap, comes to the near side, caught by Marcellus. First guy missed. He does, but the
3 plays, you run the ball, expense arrest, and then you throw it to your best app and get a first down. David Vargas did not get the memo that the Blue Jays were punting.
He's out there now, and he will stand at his 14-yard line. 9 seconds on the play clock. Still got plenty of time. 4th down and 4. Plainsman will send one man back. Vargas, good snap this time by Campbell Leach. It's a great punt by Vargas. Fair catch called for. It bounces at the 35. It'll take a Enid bounce and will officially be down at the 35. So 8:02 to play until half.
Rick Michoud and his special 2, such a great job. But then you only been out on the field all night long. I think maybe Phil could tell.
Yeah, Casey, you got to just give the kids a little extra blow.
And I think that was intelligent. Guthrie wants to play more tempo. Guthrie's defense has been on the field all night. You had to give him a break, right?
Yeah, and I mean, you got a lot of kids playing both ways down here, and I mean, they're like we talked conditioning in the first, before the ball game, and they're holding up well.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, until you've done that, played both ways, some of these kids, all 3 elements of the football game, it's a lot. We're always seeing a few kids, to be quite frank, cramping up down here on both sides. So it's
huge possession.
At Blackwell tonight here, 1st down and 10 for the Plainsmen. Handoff up the middle. Blue Jays do a good job here of stuffing the run after a 2-yard pickup. Jays got to stop the run, Case.
Yep, big difference. If that's Will Phillips, there was a hole to begin with.
Yes.
If that's Will Phillips, he busts his way for probably 6 or 7 yards, as he probably gets 2 or 3 yards after first contact. Instead, DeMaracut literally goes down the second that he's touched, so it's only 2.
Enid 210 yards of offense. Guthrie only 92. 128 rushing yards for Enid on the ground. Scrimmager pass caught at the 42, out of bounds at the 44-yard line, and the Plainsman will be close to the first down marker as Gavin Bryson, the cornerback, with the tackle. Ball will actually be spotted at the 45, so it's a first down for the Plainsman.
Phil just mentioned a bunch of Blue Jays going both ways. Gavin Bryson is the one that probably has the heaviest load. We saw Justin Adams come in at running back just to give him a spell. There's a whiskey set.
That would be Isaac Lewis if Isaac was healthy to play tonight.
Quick pass or quarterback draw out of this whiskey is what they like to run.
Scrimmager, 2nd down and 8. Here comes the pressure up the middle. Scannell can't get to him. Dumps it off. It's caught. Was he in bounds?
Yeah, he was.
He was out of bounds, so it's incomplete. It'll bring up a 3rd down and 10 play. Good job there by Scannell to force him out of the pocket, talking about the quarterback.
Coach Beebe, although they stopped that play, will not be happy with the way Guthrie defensed it, in the sense that you had a whiskey set, which means you had no running backs. You had an empty backfield. You only had 5 linemen, and yet the scrimmager was not hit. So I think he'll try to figure out a way to dial one up.
2nd down and 10. Scannell in the backfield, but unable to get to him as the flag's thrown as the running back goes across midfield up to the 48-yard line. Looks like all indications is a face mask against the Blue Jays. We'll go downstairs to get the official call from the referee tonight. I do apologize. Don't have him mic'd up. He already had 2 or 3 microphones, and I like to go with the home team, so we will.
Yeah, I don't blame him on that, do you?
Well, if we were home, I'd probably want him.
Yes, you would want that.
It is against the Blue Jays.
Yeah. Boy, and this is a huge possession. Absolutely gigantic.
Yeah.
If you go down 21-3 right before half, of course, there's 7:02 to go in the first half, but if Enid were to score, it'd probably be around 5 minutes. Boy, you would almost be in a scramble feeling like yourself, so you need to bow your neck. Got a sideline warning on Enid.
Trying to find his mic pack.
Guthrie got to see them a couple weeks ago, last week actually.
1st and 10. Handoff up the middle. Running back dances to the outside now, breaking tackles, but Gavin Bryson able to grab their jersey and hold on for dear life, as it's a 2-yard pickup. If he gets past Gavin, probably picks up another 5 yards.
You mentioned hold on for dear life, and as much as this Blue Jay defense has been on the field, you wonder how long, as they wear down, as good a condition as they're in, they'll have to wear down at some point. How long can they hold on for dear life?
4-man front for the 8.
More of a surprise and a play off the passing game than he is a feature back. Good spread back because he's that little scat back type, though.
Enid now 9 of 12 passing. First down and 10 from the 30. Scrimger comes to the far side with a long throw, caught at the 32 and driven, or excuse me, 27, driven backwards. They'll call him out of bounds at the 28-yard line. So about a 2-yard pickup. It was about a 20-yard pass for 2 yards.
Yeah, that's the kind of play you like as a defense. You make him throw it about 20 yards in the air and make it tough catch, a tough pass, all just to get 2 yards. So, well, Blue Jays out. They're 3-by-1 almost every play.
3 to the far side. Hand off the mirror cut. Take it down this time. Troy Branson up the middle. It's going to be a loss of 2 back to the 30-yard line. We mentioned Troy Branson's name for the first time here this season, the 5'8", 162-pound senior linebacker.
Got to think 2-down territory, so you got to keep playing the run here. And I know Scrimmager on that little veer action read that defensive end to the play side of it, and I know that Dane Jenkins came down on the dive play, so he may have seen something there he can take advantage of.
2-back set. They hand it off on 3rd down and 10. Driven backwards. The ball's fumbled, but Enid jumps back on top of that. Blue Jays did a good job there. Breaking that one up was big David Scott. And we have an injured Plains backup running back has his helmet come off, and now the referees are seeking for help to come onto the field. Chandra Dyer, the Guthrie training staff out there first. Here comes the Enid coaching staff and trainer out to assist the young men down at the 34-yard line. Set the table real quick for you. 5:14 to play till halftime. Enid jumped out to a 14-0 lead. Jays were able to get a David Vargas 25-yard field goal to get onto the scoreboard. It's now 14-3. Plainsmen, though, have it at the Jays' 30-yard line. It's 4th down. We'll see what they want to do here on a 4th down 10 play.
That's what I mentioned. On 3rd and 10, you still had to play the run because it was 4-down territory for Enid, and well, here comes another penalty. Enid may be getting penalized for being on the field, the coaches.
That would be a sideline warning, I would think.
Coaches can't go past the numbers, and I think they did.
That would be their second penalty if it is a sideline or if they said anything. Yeah, sideline infraction, so that will be 5-yard penalty backwards.
Yeah, I think now you go back to 35. I think you take another delay of game and punt it. You've controlled the Guthrie offense, giving up just 3 yards. 15 yards on one play is not easy to get. I think you take a delay of game and just be 5:14 to go in the first half. I don't think risk play 4th and 15 of Guthrie getting the ball in this good a field position.
I've heard you say it several times. Throw it down to the 10-yard line. If they intercept it, it's like a long punt.
Just like they did last time.
4th down and 15 from the 35. A little fake play. Here's Eric Jenkins at the 50, 45. He fumbles the football. Enid picks it up. Now here comes the return. 20, 25, 30, 35-yard line. And the interception.
That was the dumbest play call in the history of time. On 4th down and 15, are they going to say that pass was thrown backwards or forwards? That wouldn't have been the answer. There's only one pass. The backside defensive end is not going to bite on any kind of action like that because it's 4th and 15. You're waiting for any kind of trick play, reverses, anything like that. So a throwback to the quarterback is absolutely the worst thing you can do on a backside defensive end, waiting for some kind of trick play on a long yardage 4th down play. And I'll be darned if Jenkins doesn't fumble it right back to Enid. That just was, wow. It wasn't smart to go for it to begin with. It was a low percentage, and then you run a trick play on 4th and 15, something the defense is waiting on, and geez.
With that said, Guthrie had possession of the football. Lost possession.
Yeah.
And so Enid will have it 1st down and 10.
No doubt. It reminds you of that play, where were we at Sepulpa that day, when there were like 4 or 5 fumbles in a row, and it seemed like it was the Jaden Chapel game, and yeah.
Personal foul against the Plainsmen. Back about 15 yards to the 20-yard line.
Yep. For that play to work, you're banking on backside defensive end, backside safety, all rushing downfield so hard that you burn them on being too aggressive. That's something they do on 1st or 2nd down or a rushing down, not something they're going to do on a 4th and 15, and Enid got away with it. That's disappointing.
Fumble gives the ball back to Enid. It will be back to the Plainsman 20-yard line. Talking about someone besides your offense putting points on the board. Dane was just trying to make the extra play.
Disappointing. You can't blame anybody in Guthrie White for that. That was just a tough break.
Handoff on the left side, and Jay stopped the run, and it'll be back to the line of scrimmage. Second down and 10, 4:48, 4:47 rolling here in the first half. Plainsman on top, 14-3.
Not surprising.
33-yard line.
Young man that's athletic. Big role for this Blue Jay team. And it's kind of like Ty Doolin a year ago. It's just all a matter if he can control his emotions.
14-yard pickup on the pass by a scrimmager. He's done a good job of last year threw almost 60%. He's well above that here tonight.
Not a pretty ball, but it's certainly effective.
Missed communication. Scrimmager able to step up. Throws it on the run. Wide open. Caught at the 37.
It feels like a bigger deficit game. And how long that Blue Jay defense can hold up.
Penalty starting to add up a little bit for the Plainsmen. All start against the offense, and that's I believe that's the 7th penalty on the Plainsmen. Yeah, 7 penalties for 60 yards. Blue Jays have been flagged 4 times for 20 yards. Ball back at midfield on the far hash mark. Enid working left to right on your radio dial. Glad to have you on board. Stay tuned. Coming up, our Golden Chick halftime show. We'll have scores from the state of Oklahoma, stats and highlights of this first half.
Guthrie officially in a 40 front with a deep safety in the middle. That's a little wrinkle that they don't normally run.
Pass caught the 45 across the 40 down to the Guthrie 35-yard line. Pick up a 15 yards. Clock stops.
Guthrie looks like they are still in their normal quarters coverage with their 2 safeties and 2 corners, but instead of having a nose guard, they've backed and taken the nose guard out and in essence amount to a cover 3 safeties. Deep cover, single high cover of your nose guard. That's a pretty good nickel package, and Guthrie's elected to run that against this Enid offense.
Another timeout taken here. We will keep it here. Won't miss any of the action here on week 0, opening week for the Blue Jays. Of course, week 0, Blue Jays means they will have a bye week after week 3. Comes about a good time for the Blue Jays right before they hit district play. They play their 3 non-district games against Enid, Shawnee, and Ponca City. Take a week off and then get into district play. McGinnis and Carl Albert, 2 top teams in Class 5A, played in the state championship a year ago. Those 2 teams are favored to get there as well. Of course, Carl Albert with a brand new coach, Gary Rose, retiring after winning the state championship last year. Of course, Lott MacArthur and Ardmore will have an argument in 5A1 for the run for the gold ball.
Did you say Carl Albert has a new coach?
They do.
That's not legal, is it?
I didn't think so.
Goodness gracious.
Phil Nichols, it'll be different when we see Carl Albert here in a few weeks.
Gary Rose is a fine man, and I am thrilled he is in retirement.
Yep.
Is there any way Carl Albert can keep up with what he did? Is it a program thing or is it a coach thing?
It's both, I guess. But I mean, anybody that thinks Gary Rose isn't special is crazy. I mean, you don't replace Gary Rose.
It's an open enrollment thing, too.
That doesn't hurt, Case. That does not hurt.
All right. Hey, we'll say that Wednesday night for the high school huddle.
There you go.
Do you like that fence I was riding on there?
Of course, the high school huddle each and every Wednesday night on Hot 93.7 FM, KSBI.
What is that again?
From 6 to 7, we talk high school athletics. Had our first show in the books this past week, and look forward to doing it again on Wednesday night. We'll recap this game and many other big ball games going in the state of Oklahoma tonight.
It doesn't look like it because Enid has a bunch of yards, and that's what you give up, Phil. Whenever you play one of these tempo teams that spread the ball out, they're always in 3-by-1, 10 personnel, the first number being the number of backs, the second number being the number of tight ends, so 10 personnel, 1 back, no tight ends, which means that you have 4 receivers. When they're in these spread offenses and they're throwing the ball around, you give up a ton of yards.
Yeah, you do, but I tell you what, we came in here talking about Will Phillips only.
Yep.
This squad has some offensive weapons.
They are 6A, right? But the goal is when they get right here in this part of the field from the like that on a quick count, it's a 3rd down or a 4th down, so only 2nd down. It's not devastating for them.
9th penalty for Enid, cost them 70 yards.
Here's that 10 personnel trip set again, 3-by-1. They've been in this exclusively.
2nd down and 6 from the 40. They need the 34.
Tackle.
Won't get it here, will they? Yeah, they sure do. 2nd and 3rd momentum. And is that another flag down?
Distance to the goal from the 28 is, boys.
Remember, the Blue Jays had Enid turn over for about 15 seconds.
Did. Yeah, I don't think that they will bring out a play quite that ridiculous this time
no.
around. I don't think you'll see anything other than a quick pass and or a power play up the middle and or a stretch play or rocket outside.
Penalty moves it to the 14-yard line. First down and 10. Miscommunications against scrimmager will have it. They'll run to the near side.
Again, the field side trips. Not complicated to line up, but it's more complicated to stop as they spread you out.
4 wide receiver set on second down 19. Scrimmager will throw for it. Comes to the near side, single receiver side. CJ Ward on the coverage pass is incomplete. Intended receiver number 81, Caleb Chamber, 5'10", 165-pound senior.
Third down and 9 from the 13. We're going to see how much they trust their field goal kicker with the style of play that they call here. If they just turn around and hand it off up the middle on some kind of power play, you know they're playing for the field goal. They trust their field goal kicker to be about 1.5 yards shy. Interesting call. Interesting call. 4th and goal, or 4th and about 1.5 yards from the 5.5 yard line. Almost 2 yards to get. I think you got to go because there's no threat, in my opinion, as far as the way that Enid's played defense. You don't worry about Guthrie necessarily scoring from down here, so I think you quick snap and you try to catch them off guard.
Pistol formation, 4 receivers. Scrimmage first down and more tap.
That is just simply worn down.
Extra point upcoming for Enid. 2 for 2 in this department tonight. Enid's on the scoreboard for the 3rd time. Snap, hold, kick. Line drive up and is good. Enid on top of the Blue Jays, 21-3, 2:38 to play till halftime. Timeout.
Golden Anna with Golden Tangos, a hot roll, gravy or sauce, and a 20-ounce drink. All for just $6.
50 years. You rock, Golden Chick.
Golden Chick.
She's your mom, and you want to do your best. And at Golden Age Nursing Home and Ash Street Senior Living, we know just how difficult it is to make choices when it comes to your loved one's needs, and we can help. You'll find caring, supportive staff members and a full range of healthcare services. You'll also find a commitment to...
But you don't get the feeling of just an unbelievable amount. Now, they have good talent, but what you get the feel of is a very, very good coach and Coach Kelly calling plays. He knows the spread offense, and then an experienced quarterback. When you have an experienced quarterback, it makes all the difference in the world.
Yeah, I mean, they're a good ball club, totally different without the Phillips kid in there, as you said. Outside of that one, absolutely, I don't even know what he was thinking when he called that one play on 4th down. Outside of that, they've called a tremendous ball game. So I can tell you what, we got to get some energy down here on our sideline.
I said Coach Kelly. I meant to say Coach Hayes. I don't want to short him. He is a tremendous coach.
Blue Jays 92 yards of offense here in the first half. One back set with Jackson Waddell, the Blue Jay quarterback. He's going to take a lead play on the left side, trying to get the corner. He does. Nice block by Marcellus Owens across the 40 and out of bounds at the 43-yard line. 8-yard pickup for Jackson.
Well, and Phil, you go to all these new hand signals, the spread offense tempo. You get down 21-3 with 2.5 to go in the first half. What do? You line up a
work with here.
Same formation, just to the other.
Jays pull a couple 46-yard line. Jays still got plenty of time to go down and get on the scoreboard. They need all the confidence, momentum they can get.
Guthrie calls that ghost, and the reason why they do that is the guard and the H-back both pull, and you run that double lead one way, then you come back with the H-back and guard pulling back the other, and you hand it off, and it's a really good combination. Blue Jays have the H-back time to the boundary. Now
Justin Adams runs on the right side. He'll get to midfield with a nice little 4-yard run. Second down, 6 upcoming. Blue Jays now 108 yards of offense, 62 on the ground.
Blue Jays have, out of this flex formation, with an H-back, have found a little bit of running room here, and that's because there's a whole bunch of things you can do to each side of the field with it. A lot of misdirection you can run off of this.
Jays on the ball quickly. Handoff Adams up the middle. Goes from the 49 to the 46, a 3-yard pickup. So the Jays will have a 3rd down and 2 play upcoming as they need the Enid 44-yard line.
And this is the perfect type of running back, Justin Adams, to run this style of offense. Dominic Goosby's your big battering H-backer as a lead blocker. And you let a big physical back and Justin Adams get behind him. Here's that double lead by Jackson again.
Jackson trying to get the first down, and he does as he runs out of bounds right past the first down marker. Stops the clock with 1:26 to play to halftime. Again, Guthrie down 21-3.
You got the first down. You got the ball into Enid territory. This is usually where you see teams pick the tempo up and make sure that the defense does not have time to make adjustments. And Guthrie, I think, wanted to speed it up but didn't quite get the signals in fast enough. Went away from that. Well, here's the H-back set still. Now they're going to throw it to him.
Jackson steps up, flag thrown. Jays might have moved a little bit early as the pass is intercepted. Was he inbounds when he came down? He was, and Jackson's intercepted at the 26-yard line. 1:15 to play till half.
Yeah, I think the flag was Dominique Gooseby moving forward at the snap, the H-back for the Blue Jays. So I think this is going to hold. And with a 21-3 lead, Scrimmager, a very veteran quarterback, very good, places the ball very well, but not a very strong arm. You've already had one horrendously bad. The momentum they needed to get back in the game. You would think that Enid would hand it off up 21-3.
Scrimmager's been pretty good. That's the department tonight. 15 of 20.
18-point lead. Here's that 3-by-1 set to the field side again. This is what they have been in the entire second quarter.
3-by-1, 3 receivers to one side, 1 to the other. As a screen pass caught at the 24. One guy misses out to the 30. 35 out of bounds near the first down marker. And here comes a late hit by the Blue Jays. It'll be another 15 yards. Gavin Bryson flag.
What an intelligent play. Coach Hayes, he is a tremendous play caller. You run a very safe play. You know that you're going to catch it, so if it doesn't go right, just get down, keep the clock running. But yet the reward to it is if you can get a first down, you get enough field position to where you feel like then you're not risking anything by trying to go score. So that was the absolute perfect play for that situation, and it worked out for Enid. And add 15 to the end of that, they're going to be in the Blue Jays territory with still 1:07 to go in the first half. Wow.
Only took them 19 seconds to do all of it, too.
Little screen play if you can get enough yards to determine whether you want to act.
Seconds till halftime. Jays down 18 points. Scrimmager looking to throw center of the field, wants it all, has a man and overshoots him as Marcellus Owens in on the coverage. Gavin Bryson also there. The receiver had a couple of steps on Gavin. Marcellus was able to track it down a little bit. Incomplete pass. Second down 10.
Veteran receiver or veteran quarterback again, Phil. I think he saw that deep shot, that was just double releases by tight ends. The deep shot wasn't open. I think he just threw it to the part of the turf that wasn't covered.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. They're just.
Second 10 from the Guthrie. Tackles. Carrying Blue Jays all the way to the on it.
Enid needs to call a timeout.
The Guthrie Blue Jays, letting you know the Guthrie Tag Agency has a new friendly staff that is trained and experienced and will help provide you with fast and accurate service. I know they help me with all my pike pass and car needs so that I can follow the Blue Jays all over the state. Give them a call at 282-3873, open 5 days a week from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and located at 2105 South Division. F&M Bank is a neighborhood bank with 8 branching ATM locations across 4 counties in Oklahoma, business and agricultural banking.
Back to action here with 46.6 seconds played at halftime. Ball is at the Blue Jay 40-yard line.
Guess what? Trips to the field side, huh?
Third down and 2 for the Plainsmen. They'll hand it off. First down and more. 35-30 near side, 25-20, 15-10 out of bounds. Plainsmen first down. It looks like it was going to be first down and goal.
Mario Hughes, 6 foot, 200-pound senior. How is this guy a third-string running back? He was the third guy they brought in at running back. Will Phillips got hurt. Then they brought in the little scat back. This is the third guy they brought in. This guy is an impressive-looking running back at 200 pounds. Wow. NFL.
And caught, touchdown, Plainsman.
Back. And whenever you get pressure to an experienced quarterback like Scrimmager and you give him time to survey your defense, he's going to choose the right guy every time. He's going to place the ball in the right position for his receiver to catch it where the defender cannot make a play on it, and this is what you're going to get. So Coach Beebe at halftime is going to have to figure out a way, A, to stop the rushing game, and B, to get pressure on Scrimmager so he does not have time to pick apart the Blue Jays secondary.
Jay Sean Sears, the 5'11", 175-pound senior with the reception from 10 yards out. PA crew back in Stillwater Radio. Snap the hold, and we have Enid.
So many times whenever, obviously you have a bunch of guys going both ways, young players. Your best defense, we'll get to this penalty here, but I want to talk to Phil about this
It's actually going against the Blue Jays.
So you wonder if they go for 2 here. A lot of times, Phil, your best defense is an offense that can control the football, and Guthrie simply has not been able to do that so far this evening.
Well, I was just talking to our longtime statistician, Rob Hudson. He just said so this is the first time this is.
I'll refresh here and get a extra point is up, and it is good. Enid now with a 28-3 lead. 28 seconds left until halftime. I'm going to correct number real quick. 51 offensive plays ran for Enid. That's compared to Guthrie's 27 offensive plays.
Yep, and it's not even necessarily the amount of plays. It's just the time on the field. And I couldn't tell you 10 plays Guthrie's ran. I can't remember them. I know last time they went to that flex set with the H-back with Dominique Gooseby, and then they had Justin Adams running it. But on defense, he's your running back. Secondary some, and so you're just running. I mean, I don't care how well conditioned you are. This has been a nightmare.
Time of possession is actually going to be a little bit close. Remember with that up-tempo offense that Enid runs, they get out of bounds, they stop the clock, they're on the ball quick, but unofficially until halftime. Guthrie 10 minutes 47 seconds, Enid 11 minutes 58 seconds.
2-minute difference. It does feel like a lot more than that, though, doesn't it?
It certainly does.
Although 2 minutes, a 4 minutes.
47 seconds to do so. That's your John Vance Motor scoring summary. Kick is left to right. It's fielded at the 11. Marcelo Owens quickly to the 20. Speeds up 25-30, 35-40, and down at the 41-yard line. Clock stops with 20 seconds to play in the half.
Here's the biggest part of what's happened with the way Enid's played offense. We talked about up-tempo, spread-type offenses. They're going to get a lot of yards in between the 30s, Phil. Bring this back down to you, but you got to keep them from getting into the end zone. That's the disadvantage of running a spread offense. Guthrie has allowed 4 touchdowns. That's something you can't do in one half of.
More than likely we'll head to trying to figure something up at halftime without trying to get themselves back in this one. They're going to be down at halftime 28-3.
If there is a silver lining, it is that you get the ball first the second half. You get a chance to get the ball, get some momentum, go score, and maybe get yourself back in the game.
Blue Jays won this game a year ago, 22-19. Enid trying to get their second win in this series dating back to 2010. They have a halftime lead of 28-3. We'll take a timeout, come back, get set for the Golden Chick. That's highlights and scores from around the state of Oklahoma. This is Blue Jay football on Hot 93.7 FM, KSBI.
Looking to go inside Blue Jay Athletics? Log on to GuthrieSportsPage.com and get all the information on all the Blue Jay events. GuthrieSportsPage.com is your source for all Blue Jay information. Visit the ever-growing SoundCloud page and listen to pre- and post-game interviews, player spotlights, and complete game recaps. GuthrieSportsPage.com provides a link to listen to the Blue Jays streaming live over the World Wide Web and has pre- and post-game stories for your reading enjoyment. GuthrieSportsPage.com, your source for all Blue Jay information.
This is Craig Fleck. Stay tuned after the break when Phil Nichols will join me for first half stats and more on the Golden Chick Halftime Show.
I guess every slush flavor someone could ever want.
This is basically slush headquarters.
For sour blue raspberry plans world domination.
Well, not if Lemonberry has anything to say about it.
Lemonberry, you're already sour. Come to the sour side.
Never. I'll never join you.
Refreshment just got colorful with new slush flavors like blue raspberry made with Nerds Candy. And start your day with the 99-cent morning drink stop.
Sonic at I-35 and Highway 33.
This is how you Sonic.
D. Bruce Selby Stadium, Enid, Oklahoma. This is the Golden Chick Halftime Show. So glad to have you on board here on Hot 93.7 FM, KSBI, alongside Craig Fleck, Phil Nichols, Casey Porter. I'm Chris Evans. Also coming to you around the globe on GuthrieSportsPage.com, GuthrieNewsPage.com. However you're listening to us, we appreciate that. Golden Chick Halftime Show. Golden Chick and Guthrie, one of the best ones in the nation. In fact, numbers are really, really high as far as sales. And tell you, those sales are up because of the great customer service out there. They have tremendous specials throughout the week. And so we appreciate Golden Chick and everything they do for us, and we passed one in Hennessy as well. So Golden Chick, there's one or two here in Enid as well. So they're everywhere, but the most popular one in Guthrie, operated there by Lula.
They do a great job and been great supporters of Blue Jay Athletics and just our Blue Jay kids all the way around, Chris. But, you know, back in my day, I loved me some Golden Chick.
Oh, yeah, you got a little life. Yeah. You got a lifestyle change.
Lifestyle change. I go out and say hi once in a while, but that's all I do now.
Well, they do have some salads out there, so maybe we can go.
We don't want to talk about it.
We don't want to talk about that. We are at halftime here as the Enid dance team, cheerleaders, not sure what group that is, performing for the halftime crowd here at D. Bruce Selby Stadium. Blue Jays short on the scoreboard as we speak, 28-3. Enid jumped out in the first 2 minutes and 50 seconds on the scoreboard as the quarterback, Mason Scrimmager, getting his first full season of work here. The junior quarterback hooked up with number 13, Demian Riemann, a sophomore, on a pass of 5 yards to go on top 7-0. And less than 4 minutes later in the first quarter, it was again Scrimmager finding his teammate in Williams on a 17-yard touchdown pass. Extra point was good. Enid on top 14-0. Blue Jays able to get on the scoreboard before the end of the first quarter. It was a 26-yard field goal by David Vargas, and Jays were able to cut the lead down to 14-3. But before the Jays had scored, there was 2 touchdowns. After the Jays scored, there was 2 more touchdowns by the Plainsmen. This time it was a run by Marlo Hughes of 5 yards. Extra point was good, and with 2:38 to play till halftime, Guthrie trailed 21-3, and just before half, Enid back on the scoreboard with a pass from Scrimmager to Jayshawn Sears of 10 yards. That gets us to our halftime score of 28-3, and Phil, big momentum swing, Dane Jenkins with the interception.
Yeah.
But then fumbles the football, trying to make an extra play around the 15-yard line. Enid recovers the fumble and goes down and scores. And that's the momentum play.
It is, and you feel bad for Dane. That was a tremendous athletic play by Dane to make the interception, and it was an effort, like you said, just trying to make an effort play down the end of the play. Got the ball stripped, and sometimes the ball doesn't bounce your way, and that's definitely what happened on that play.
We'll go over some stats and some scores from around the state of Oklahoma. We'll do that after this timeout. This is the Golden Chick halftime show.
Stillwater, Hot 93.7.
These tenders have always been my number one. Crispy, tasty, crazy delicious. They rule.
Celebrate Golden Chick's golden anniversary with Golden Tenders. Pick up the $6 3-tender deal today. 3 crispy hand-battered tenders, fries or mashed potatoes, a hot roll, gravy or sauce, and a 20-ounce drink. All for just $6.
50 years. You rock, Golden Chick.
This is the Golden Chick halftime show.
Buying a new car or truck is a major investment, so you should get more than a low price. At John Vance Ford in Guthrie, our customers receive an exceptionally comfortable buying experience, award-winning service, and the lowest price on Ford cars and trucks. As always, we're big supporters of Guthrie football. Go Blue Jays. You make us proud. John Vance Auto Group, 10 minutes north of Edmond, exit 153. Visit online, vanceautogroup.com.
Welcome back, Golden Chick halftime show here in Enid, Oklahoma. Bill Nichols, Chris Evans with you. Take us a look at some scores from around the state of Oklahoma. It is week 0, not a full slate of schedule like it will be next week.
Right.
When everybody will be ready to go. But we talked about this game on the high school huddle on Wednesday night, Thursday night. Altus at Clinton. That game's already at halftime. We were talking about how many passes were going to be thrown. I don't have that number, but
2?
Both teams like to run the football. And Altus, the 5A squad, who won the ball game last year, on top of Clinton by a score of 7-0.
Oh, wow.
O'Keene at Watonga. O'Keene at halftime leads Watonga by a score of 8-0. Mount View, Godibo.
Godibo.
They trail Bray Doyle. The Donkeys have a 4-point lead. That game in the second quarter. Bridge Creek at Medill. Medill leads that game by a score of 20-7. Barnsdall all over Yale at halftime, 40-12. Sequoia Claremore at Inola. The Longhorns down 6, 28-22. Crooked Oak at Dibble. Dibble all over Crooked Oak, 62-0. Destiny Christian leads Carnegie, 46-14. Marietta over Dixon, 8-0 at halftime. And Bill Blankenship, we talked a lot about this as he makes the trip or the return back to high school football here in Oklahoma after winning the state championship in Arkansas. Now at Owasso, taking on Jinx Trojans tonight at halftime.
Oh, no.
and Owasso 11 a year ago.
Yeah.
And so,
and a guy like that, what happens is they come in, kids start believing, the community starts believing. And, University of Tulsa is just a complete legend. But, yeah, that's expected that at halftime.
Yeah, that's a halftime score. We'll see how that one plays out. Parkins Tryon in Cushion tonight. We talked about this game on the huddle as well. Cushion, top 5 program in their class at halftime. They lead the Parkins Tryon Demons by score 7-0. A little defense being played there.
Well, and that, you would kind of expect that, I think, in that ball game, but that's what's so tough about these first few weeks. You don't ever want to stop and say they don't mean anything, because they mean everything to the kids that are down there on the field. But really, and these two teams with 0 week, this is usually when you're playing your second scrimmage. So all these clubs.
Right.
So it's you're going to see probably some things you won't see later in the year.
Yeah, and we'll talk about that later. Like, Shawnee's not playing tonight.
Right.
Guthrie's playing tonight. Does it give him an advantage over – because next week's Shawnee's first time to get on the field. Guthrie's already been there. So that's a good conversation. We'll talk a little bit later on. Some other scores from the state of Oklahoma. Minko at Chisholm. Longhorns coming off a fantastic year ago. On top of Minko by score 7-0. Our good friends over in Cashion, they're at Crossing Christians tonight. Halftime, 0-0. Some defense being played there.
That's surprising.
Cashion usually – of course, they got to replace a quarterback, Harmon, but
he was pretty good.
He usually had 7 touchdowns by halftime, much less no points at halftime. But they'll I'm sure get out of that as the night goes on. Talahina at Atoka. There, Talahina on top. Prague at Chandler. The Red Devils on top of the Chandler Lions scored 19-0. Game not too far from here in Garber. Kremlin Hillsdale leads Garber 22-6. Tipton at Laverne. Laverne leads that game by 20-6. Trying to find some of the highlights here. The Jones Longhorns, they remember how to score. They're taking down the Oklahoma Christian Saints at halftime. Score there is 32-0.
Jones is always there.
Yeah.
It's solid.
Another interesting ball game. Class 6A Bartlesville, Division II, taking on McAllister. The Buffaloes at halftime tied with Bartlesville, 13-13. That's second quarter last report with 6 minutes to play. 13-13 ball game there. And Muskogee Ruffers hosting the Midwest City Bombers. It is halftime. Midwest City 20, Muskogee 0.
Ooh.
Rafe Watkins, Keaton Callens, 07 football squad, 08 graduate, along with Kai Staley, both coaching this year for Rafe Watkins and Muskogee Ruffers.
Yeah, it looks like they're off to a little bit of a bouncy start. They got a good squad, though. Long year.
Midwest City, very, very good.
Very good. Well. Many people have them slated to be there at the end of the year.
Absolutely. Our score here in Enid, Oklahoma. It's been all Plainsmen here in the first 24 minutes as they lead the Blue Jays by a score of 28-3. We'll take a timeout. When we come back, Craig Fleck, Casey Porter rejoin us as we take a look at first half stats. This is the Golden Chick Halftime Show on Hot 93.7 FM, KSBI.
When it comes to Guthrie Blue Jay Athletics, Hayes Funeral Home is a proud supporter from the first game all the way to the championship game. Along with many years of experience in funeral service, the Hayes family brings compassion and professional service during difficult times. Owners Chuck and Lynette Hayes take pride in providing families and their loved ones quality care. Chuck and Lynette have not only supported families in the Guthrie area for countless years, but have supported Guthrie student athletes succeeding on the playing field and in the classroom. Hayes Funeral Home is located on the corner of Noble and Wentz, or simply give them a call at 405-282-3100.
The Golden Chick Halftime Show rolls on with the John Vance Auto Group scoring.
Is a direct sportsmanship is everyone's responsibility.
D. Bruce Selby Stadium, Enid, Oklahoma, here on the Golden Chick Halftime Show. Guthrie Band just got done with their halftime performance. Now the Enid High School Marching Band with their performance going on. Joined now by Craig Fleck, statistician for 50 years now for us here on the broadcast. And Krager,
gotta get it right. I'm a statistician. It's my 15th year.
Okay, 15th year. I apologize. Scoreboard's lopsided a little bit, and the stat sheet a little bit lopsided as well.
It's pretty lopsided. It definitely tells a story. Enid, 368 yards of total offense in that first half. Blue Jays 116. Number of plays are on Enid, 51 plays from scrimmage in that first half. Blue Jays only 28. Blue Jays averaging over 4 yards per play. However, Enid averaging over 7. Definitely dominance in that category. Very balanced from Enid as well. 168 through the air, 200 on the ground. That coming on 25 passing plays, 17 of 25 passing, and only 27 rushing plays. So very balanced for that Enid High School team, as they're 26 rushing plays, 25 passes.
Yeah, and you got to believe that some of that had to do with, obviously, Will Phillips going out of the game. But as I said earlier, these kids, they've got a lot of weapons on the Enid side. As Casey alluded to, they're 3 deep at tailback, a real veteran quarterback that in Casey's right, Case, it is not a pretty ball, but it's been effective, and they're just taking it to the Jays right now.
Well, 7.7 per pass, yards on the ground on 18 attempts. That's 3.9 yards per carry. Once again, not bad.
Right.
You'll take that in most games. 7 penalties for the Blue Jays, 9 for Enid. It's the first half, it's the first game of the season, so you're going to have penalty issues, and that has been true on both sides of the ball. Blue Jays, of course, with a fumble and an interception, for the Enid play.
And rightfully so.
But the stat of the game so far that really tells the story: 3rd down conversions versus attempts. Blue Jays 1 of 7 on 3rd down. Enid 5 of 9.
Yeah, and I mean, on the sideline you get a little different perspective of the energy and just and the energy is just, it's not there. And that's it's tough, when you're out there on the field and the boys are getting to take it to them a little bit right now, and they've just got to keep fighting. Second half, just keep fighting, and hopefully get back in the ballgame.
Well, and you got to look at that Enid sideline, and when Will Phillips goes down, when your star goes down, there's every chance that you're going to deflate, that it's going to be a momentum killer for you. The 2 series later, bounce back and go right down the field. The Blue Jays, however, you had that 2 turnover play with Dane Jenkins.
Great effort by Dane.
Great effort by him, but it seemed like after that, the Blue Jays just completely deflated in that first half.
Definitely lost any momentum. That was a huge momentum shift right there. But I'll say one thing, also, Flecky, sometimes when a star player goes down, it can also rally the kids, and they kind of have a cause now. They're going to finish it for Will, right? And he seems like a very popular young man. I saw a lot of the starters as they're rotating off and on, going down, checking on their friend. And that's a sad deal. It's a sad deal. But they're supposed to go. They're just being out-athleted a little bit right now.
Well, it's certainly been a long first half for the Guthrie Blue Jays. Hopefully we can get some momentum and turn this thing around here in the second half. I'm sure Coach Beebe in there giving them some adjustments. And
they're getting coached up, I guarantee you that.
Maybe a little bit of an attitude adjustment as well.
Yeah, I think, really, this isn't all bad, people listen to this say 28-3 housing, not all bad, but, it's a non-district game. It's 0 week. We got a lot of kids, even though we have a lot of kids back, as we talked about, they're still young. We got several kids that have not played before. So this can be a learning opportunity for them. Come back second half, play hard, compete. That's the main thing. Keep competing. So as long as the kids will keep competing and doing and just executing, it'll be okay.
Well, and we've discussed this before. In my opinion, the 2 most significant games in Guthrie football history were both losses. Douglas in 02. And then Deer Creek in 06. Those are, in my opinion, the 2 most significant games and the 2 most significant turning points in the history of this program, and they were both losses. Losses can be valuable learning experiences and valuable tools for both coaches and players if you use them the right way.
Well, what was learned in the 06 game was don't turn the ball over 9 times. That's what was learned in that ball game.
You're talking to a statistician, remember. It was 6. It was 6 turnovers.
Okay, 6, 9, or 10. It was too many.
All right, we're going to go ahead and head to a timeout. You're listening to Guthrie High School football on 93.7 KSBI.
Chevrolet at I-35 in Guthrie is cheering you the whole way and will help you score a game-winning deal in getting the new or used vehicle that you need. Don't worry. worry about your credit history, Eskridge Chevy can get you approved. Come see us at Eskridge Chevrolet, just a short drive to I-35 in the Guthrie exit on Division Street. Call 1-800-NEW-CHEVY or visit chevy.com.
Sometimes you need immediate care and can't see your doctor during regular hours. With Mercy Convenient Guthrie, you can walk in without an appointment and get the medical attention you need at a low 630 Hospital Logan Guthrie. Choose Mercy.
The Golden Chick Halftime Show continues. Coming up next, we get you ready with the Eskridge Chevrolet keys to the second half, as well as the Mercy Health Report.
These cinders have always been my number one. Crispy, tasty, crazy delicious. They rule.
Celebrate Golden Chick's Golden Chick.
Welcome back, Golden Chick. Enid warming up to our left. Blue Jays open up on the road. Jays have had good luck in these season openers, have won 4 out of the last 5, but in danger of dropping one here in week 0.
And let's say this, I don't know, I'm sure Craig and Phil hit on this, you know, during their talk at halftime. I was not listening, but I'm sure they did. But let's hit on this. Whenever you play this up-tempo RPI style offense, you get the ball first. Crazier things have happened. When you play up-tempo and you can score in a hurry, you can come back from deficits like this. So the disadvantages are, if you don't get first downs like you didn't in the first half, the other team can run 60 plays in one half, right? But the advantages of it are that you could do the same thing in the second. And so right now, obviously, this game's not over in any stretch or fashion. You get a good kick return, you go down and score in the first couple of minutes, you get some momentum. You know Coach Beebe, Coach Rainwater have really hit the reset button as far as how to get pressure on scrimmager and how to shut down that rushing game for Enid. So like I said, the disadvantages that an up-tempo offense gives you as far as giving up the other team, it gives you if you get behind in a situation like this. So that's if you're going to look at the positives, what you offense, the Texas, you get the ball somewhere around the 40, maybe midfield, and that gives your play caller, coach, the comfort to really put the pedal to the metal. And then you scheme it at half, like, you know, ball a little bit. Coach, back to that, it will be
said, obviously, but talk about energy. We've got to get some energy on the field. We've got to get some energy on the sideline, keep things in perspective, and just come out and compete in the second half.
And let me say this, you mentioned energy. There is no better way to get energy on a sideline than to score.
That's
so
right.
If you take the football here, get a big kick return, go score.
Genius center, but Phil, injury report for both teams.
Well, Guthrie's no worse off than we were when we began with. You know, some kids, we got a little bit of cramping with a couple kids. Of course, on the other side, unfortunately, Will Phillips, one of the best in the state of Oklahoma, going to be out for a while, looks like, with an air cast. I'm not going to say what happened because I don't think that's appropriate, but as far as his injury, but he will not be playing for a few weeks, or I should say several weeks for Enid.
Gosh.
Yeah.
That makes you sick to your stomach, doesn't it, Phil?
It really does, brother.
God.
Again, halftime scores. We're getting ready to kick off this third quarter. Enid Plainsman 28, Guthrie 3.
That has to be a good RPO game. If you're not able to run the ball here in this first possession and then get the short pass off of that, then it's going to be a very, very long session. Yep.
70 yards on the ground, but those numbers inflated on Enid's side. 168 through the air, 200 on the ground.
Guthrie has not been terrible offensively. It just doesn't seem like they've had the ball enough. Enid's run so many plays that it's hard to get in a rhythm offensively whenever the other team's running 2 plays to your every one.
Marcellus Owens and C.J. Ward back inside their 10-yard line on the right side. Enid will be kicking left to right here at.
See if they can get a good return. I'd like to see him kick one to C.J. and watch him run sideways a little bit, see if he can crack one.
Instead, it'll be Marcellus' chance as he can't field it cleanly, picks it up at the 12, makes one guy miss, up to the 15, sidesteps one, and he'll be run out of bounds around the 18-yard line. So here comes Jackson down the Guthrie Blue Jay offense. Again, they ran 28 offensive plays in that first half. They averaged 4.1 per play. Of course, if you can average 4.1 work, get on the scoreboard, get some confidence going.
Johnny Scroggins starting the second half at right guard for the Blue Jays. Dominic Gooseby coming back at what I assume to be the H-back. Now he's getting replaced now by Cale Kaufman. Blue Jays will not have an H-back here. They'll have a fullback and a running back and 3 receivers. And that'll be what they go with. the traditional flex formation that we're used to seeing the Blue Jays run with.
Play clock down to 6, down to 5. Two-back set with Jackson down to 3 seconds, down to 2. Takes the snap, hands off Adams, right side across the 20 up to the 23-yard line. A 3-yard pickup for Justin Adams. He wears jersey number 28 for the Royal Blue and White.
Old-fashioned Guthrie Blue Jay football. No H-back. You got a fullback. You have a running back. You have the normal flex formation. And you run the ball right downhill. Of course, what do you go back to? You go back to what you've always been good at. Guthrie going back to it right now, at least formation-wise.
Two-back set again. 2 receivers to the near side, 1 to the far side. Blue Jays run into each other. 2 running backs and Jackson all ran together and lost 2 yards back to the 21-yard line.
And people always say, we're down 28-3. Why in the world would you come out and run the ball up the middle twice? Well, you have to gain momentum because your defense has been on the field so much. Get a couple of first downs and then wear down that Enid defense, so that will set up the fact that you could then go high tempo to score enough points. But if you're going to do that here,
time throws it downfield looking for Guggesberg, and it's off the hands. It looked like Enid, the cornerback Seth Ellis may have touched that a little bit, but Guggesberg had a chance at that one, but it goes off his hands incomplete.
Guggesberg's run those hots off the RPOs. Now he runs the wheel on the deep pass, and just a great job of playing man-to-man. I don't even think Enid switched. I'd like to have it later. I don't even think they switched. I think they just played just exactly straight man. This isn't what you want.
By Hector Gooseby, sophomore, 28-yard punt, no return. Have a short field, midfield with the football.
3, you're at midfield, you have an experience. Right, they've run this. They ran it the entire second quarter. This would be a great chance to take a deep shot.
Hand off instead to Hughes, 45 to the 40, first down to the 35. Jays move him across the line off. He's down at the 28-yard line. About a 22-yard run for Marlo Hughes.
Yep, 1 defensive lineman as you have to send somebody out to that number 3. Then you have to roll another safety out to number 2, which means if you can get past the linebackers, really there's nobody left home, and you're going to get...
Fires a fast near the side. Bounds at the hit. Looks like Gavin Bryson will be flagged for a second late hit.
Yep, and this is what you worry about. Guthrie, not the most unbelievably athletic of teams, and whenever the other team's able to spread the Blue Jays out like Enid has done, you know, so many times we talk about all these different complicated concepts, and you know, like McGinnis will run 78 different variations of formations, and they try to get you to line up wrong and this and that. And when you think of spread offense, you think that there's a million different plays, but when you look what Enid's done, defense out, get space enough for their blockers just to get in the way long enough of the Blue Jay front 6, and thus get good yardage, and they have a very experienced quarterback scrimmager that makes the right decision every time.
Ball inside the 10, first down and goal, and the running back, let's see who that was, gets all the way to the 3-yard line, a pickup of 5 yards, run there by number 20, Khalid Lee, 5'6", 155-pound senior.
We now know they have 4 good running backs, and what this reminds you of in a different way was the Altus quarterback, Benway. It's obviously a totally different offense, but when you have a quarterback that understands the offense and where to hurt the defense at the way that these two have, makes it very difficult to defend.
Second goal from the 3, pass into the end zone, and it's caught out of bounds at the 1-yard line, 2-yard pickup. It's going to be 3rd down and goal for the Plainsmen.
Scrimmager wanted the touchdown pass, so he made us take this and run it himself. So he
in danger of a 3rd down.
Oh,
takes it
there.
away at the 10, 15, 20, to the 25, to the 30. He's got blockers, 40, 45 midfield, 45 and down at the 40-yard line. See if that's the spark the Blue Jays need. That was a nice play there by 17. Dominique Gooseby took it out of the belly. It was miscommunication between Hughes and Scrimmager, and Dominique got in the middle of it, took it away, and with a long run of about 60 yards.
All right, how about that? Now here's the deep shot that you get the Blue Jays go to it.
59-yard return by Dominic, hand off to Gavin Bryson, off the left side across the 40, across the 35, down to the 34.
Yep.
And they'll mark it at the 33, so it's a 6-yard run for Gavin Bryson.
Yeah, Parker Rainey in at tight end. Either tight end or H-back. That's where you get the single high look from Enid, and that's where if you go multiple vertical routes, they can't cover them all. And we'll see if Coach Mick dials that up here before too long.
Jackson takes it out of the belly. Gavin makes one guy miss, gets to the 30, first down as he goes across the 25 to the 24. A 9-yard pickup for the junior quarterback, Jackson Waddell.
Well, we talked about all the great decision-making scrimmagers made all night long, and the mesh point was not good. Of course, it was the 4th running back he's had to play with tonight. At that point, he should have just went down. Instead, he tried to hand it off, and Dominique Gooseby with the fumble recovery.
3 receivers hit. Jackson will check the sideline for the play. Offensive coordinator Coach Scott Mick up here in the press box to our left relays the call to the coaching staff down on the sideline.
I'm telling you, man, when momentum goes in high school, crazy things can happen.
Jackson wants it all in the end zone for Marcellus. It's caught and then dropped as he goes out of bounds, unable to bring it in to finish off the catch. And it'll bring up a 2nd down 10 play. 8:20 to play in the 3rd quarter. Enid on top, 28-3.
Blue Jays have found their deep shot formation. You knew it was coming. When you have a tight end and then 2 receivers to the top, that single high safety has to play over the top of the tight end, which means you're getting single. Well, Martis did not make the play.
2nd down. Enid, did they call a timeout? They did. 8:20 to play in the 3rd quarter. We'll take a timeout with them. Enid 28.
Got by Lifelong Oaks and Seth Robbins. They aren't limited to any single provider. They'll work with you to find the carrier and the plan that fits you best. Terra Insure Group is an independent insurance agency specializing in home, auto, and commercial lines of insurance. Call Terra Insure Group at 293-4880 or stop by at 2403 South Division or visit them online at tigok.com. Terra Insure Group, insuring your world.
If it has to do with cars, trucks, RVs, motorcycles, or boats, the Guthrie Tag Agency can do it all. Hello, friends. This is Chris Evans, the voice of the Guthrie Blue Jays, letting you know the Guthrie Tag Agency has a new, friendly staff that is trained and experienced and will help provide you with fast and accurate service. I know they help me with all my pike pass and car needs so I can follow the Blue Jays all over the state. Give them a call at 282-3873, open 5 days a week from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and located at 2105 South Division.
Gavin Bryson over on the right side is tackled after a 4 or 5 yard pickup, but a flag comes in late as we resume action. It's going to be a holding against the Blue Jays.
Boy, and that is absolutely too bad. Absolutely too bad.
Blue Jays now 55 yards.
Not play.
Excuse me, 60 yards.
Of course, you're going to have 4 downs to get it. So it's going to be 2nd and 20 now.
From the 24 back to the 34, just short of the 34.
Single high swing routes and then multiple vertical routes. We got another flag here. Is this going to be on Enid?
Figure out what the referee was doing in the secondary. He's coming to the backfield for the Blue Jays. There we go. 2nd down and 19 from the 33. Jackson gets the snap, has all day to throw. Here comes the pressure, though. Throws it, has a man open, and it's dropped inside the 10-yard line as Gabe Gonzalez had an opening but unable to bring it in. It'll bring up 3rd down and 19.
Keep saying it. Coach Mick is dialing up the exact perfect style of offense. You have 4 receivers. You have 4 vertical threats. Enid only has 1 deep high safety, which means their corners are an absolute man-to-man, and any kind of inside slot is going to be just almost uncovered. Coach Mick's dialing it up. The Blue Jays now have to execute.
Blue Jays are bringing Max Medford into the offense, 5'8", 140-pound sophomore.
Enid stays with the single high. That plays right into Guthrie's favor as far as what they want to do here on 3rd and long.
3rd and 19 officially from the 33. Jays need inside the 15. Jackson forced out of the pocket. Steps up, has room to run. He's at the 25 to the 20, slides at the 18. And it should be a late hit, and it is. Here comes the penalty flag down. It'll be another 15 yards or half the distance to the goal. Blue Jays will have their best chance to score here offensively tonight.
What a play by Jackson Waddell. He let the whole thing develop. Again, you had deep routes all over the field, which runs all the safeties off, which means if the quarterback scrambles, there's really nobody. He's going to outrun linebackers all day. There's nobody there that can stop him. Once the safeties have all been run off with the routes, Jackson knew that, so he slow played everything. Had to make one move on a linebacker. He knew he could make that. He did it, and then slid down to give his team a chance on 4th down. Lo and behold, you had a late hit, and now it's going to be 1st and goal from the 8.
3 receivers set. Gavin Bryson back there with Jackson Waddell. 1st down and goal. Little draw play to Gavin. Across the 5 into the end zone. Touchdown, Gavin Bryson. And the Blue Jays are on the scoreboard for the first time offensively here tonight.
Well, and you could feel that. Enid now cramping, and I'm telling you, with an up-tempo style offense, Enid not have Will Phillips. They just made an unbelievably bad play for the second time. Remember in the first half, Dane Jenkins caution. They're trying to leave this game. We'll see if the Blue Jays can walk through this and then have a good special teams play and then complete that circuit of offense, defense, special teams to completely get the momentum back.
Nice job there by that offensive line along that right side with a nice gap there, 55 and 58. Dylan Dollar and Justin Ergan. And now the Blue Jays will come on for the PAT. David Vargas will get his first chance here on the PAT. He has connected already on a 26-yard field goal. It's a high snap over the head of the center. Vargas picks it up at the 25-yard line, trying to throw it, and will be tackled at the 25. PAT is no good. Score now, Enid 28, Guthrie 9. 7 minutes and 44 seconds to play here in the third quarter. Timeout. This is Blue Jay football on Hot 93.7 FM, KSBI.
John Vance here. I'd like to personally invite you to our Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram store in Guthrie. At the Jump Group, you'll always experience comfortable to buy a truck.
Sometimes you need immediate care and can't get in to see your doctor during regular hours. With Mercy Convenient Care in Guthrie, you can walk in without an appointment and get the medical attention you need at a lower cost and with shorter waiting time than your local emergency room. The Mercy Convenient Care is located at 2919 South Division. For any concerns, call 405-282-601. Services are provided by Mercy Hospital, Logan County. Choose Guthrie.
Season Gavin Bryant scores from a scoring comfortable to buy a car. Blue Jays kick right to left. A nice kick by Vargas. It's 1 yard deep into the end zone, unreturnable in high school football. And so the Plainsmen will have a first down and 10 from their own 20-yard line. See if that Gavin Bryson score. Of course, that was set up by the turnover by the Plainsmen as Dominic Gooseby was able to take it out of the belly of the running back / quarterback, ran 59 yards, and then the Jays took over from there offensively to get the touchdown. Now the Blue Jay defense needs another stop here. Try to get this game a little knocking on the door. We're 7 minutes and 43 seconds away from that. Scrimmage Hughes straight up the middle. He'll go from the 20 to the 24-yard line, a 4-yard pickup. Knight got a field goal, and then Enid got two more touchdowns after the Blue Jays score. Now Guthrie scores again. Enid now 408 yards of offense. Guthrie down to 161. 4 receivers set on second down and 6 play. Handoff Marlo Hughes, tries the right side, and he's off to the horses. 35-40 midfield. Now the Blue Jays going to catch him. 30, 20, 10, touchdown. Marlo Hughes, 76-yard run. He had a stiff arm, bypassed another Blue Jay. Then there was no one left to bring him in, and Enid is back on the scoreboard. 30.
Well, we mentioned a minute ago trying to complete the circuit. You had a great defensive play, then you had a great offensive play. Now, can you start playing off? Can those two units start playing off of each other? And the defense was not able to capitalize off the momentum the offense gave it, and Enid has scored right back. And well, it looked like they're going to score the first possession until that fumble recovery by Gooseby. And now they do finally score here in the second half.
Now the snap goes through the center's hands, or the holder's hands, and it's down. It was a good snap, just the holder was unable to bring in the football. I'm surprised that doesn't happen more often in all levels of football, high school, college, or NFL. You would think it would go through their hands a little bit more than it does. But either way, the PAT extra point, no good. Now the score remains 25-point deficit for the Jays, 34-9. We'll go ahead and keep it here. We're caught up on our breaks here, and we'll bring you our John Vance Motor scoring summary as the Enid Plainsmen only need 2 plays to go 80 yards. Of course, it was highlighted by that 76-yard touchdown run by Marlo Hughes. Marlo Hughes, the backup running back to Will Phillips. Just tuning in, Will Phillips, the 3-year letterman, the junior, went down with an injury early in this ball game and was transported to the hospital for further evaluation, and looks like he will be out several weeks. But Enid has rallied behind him in the running game, and they definitely miss him, but not tonight in the running game, as his teammates have come back and really helped him out. Now 308 yards of football on 32 carries, now almost 500 yards of offense, and we haven't even got through the midway point of the third quarter.
That was almost as disappointing as whenever Dane intercepted the ball and then fumbled it back. You felt like you had some momentum, a chance to get back in the game, and then with a big long run, one play later, Enid has regained all of that.
Enid will kick left to right. Marcellus and CJ back deep to return this kick. Marcellus from the 12-yard line, 2 points, center field 25-30, and down at the 33-yard line. And here comes Waddell in the Blue Jay offense, 161 yards tonight. It's been tough sledding tonight, 46 through the air, 150 total 40-yard drive together the last time they were out there.
They scored last time. Jackson had a couple of good scrambles. Guthrie's completed a couple of passes, and they found this tight end formation, whether it be to the trips or whether it be to the single side, and the multiple vertical routes this presents has given Enid some problems, and Guthrie will stay in this formation until Enid figures it out.
Hinkle, Owens, receivers to the near side. Jackson play action, rolls to the far side, looking for Gugelsberg. Instead, tucks it in with it as we have a flag down. Jackson gets to the yard run, but we'll have to check the marker.
Now there was a holding on the last possession that almost thwarted a Guthrie drive that was looking from third and forever. Jackson Waddell scrambled, slid, was going to make it 4th and about 9. And a late hit penalty on Enid gave the Blue Jays a first down, in which the next play Gavin Bryson scored on.
Penalty back to the 23-yard line. First down and 20. 6:40 play, third quarter. 3 receivers set. 1 to the short side of the field, 2 to the long side of the field. Jackson takes the snap, hands off to Gavin. Gavin to the last pitch across the 25, down to the 26, a 3-yard pickup. Tackled by the Plainsman 48.
Bryson looks quick. He also looks decisive, and he also, what's so difficult, it's like Bryson does not have, is choosing your hole, and Alyson's done a good job with that.
Brock Anderson was that linebacker with the tackle. Second down, 17. Waddell to throw. Steps up, runs, gets to the 30. That's all he'll get. 4.5-yard run by Jackson. It'll be third down and long for the Jays.
I don't want to speak for the coaches, but I would have to think that 34-9 first game of the year as the clock rolls under 5:45 third quarter. Last thing they want right now is Jackson Waddell running around for his life and taking a bunch of hits here in the second half. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. Blue Jays already without the services of Isaac Lewis tonight, out with the injury.
Going with the 2 deep safeties here. Nickel look for them. They're taking their drop player to the boundary because Guthrie has not run to the boundary. They've taken what normally is a drop player to the boundary and put him back as a deep safety.
Third down and 12. Whistles before the snap. Flag. Delay a game upcoming on the Jays.
So that's what happens when you can't run the ball. The player number 32, as you see on your video, normally would be in the alley to the field, to the boundary side, which means you have better passing lanes because you just have a single high safety. Now that you've presented really no threat to be able to run the ball to the boundary, he does about his run responsibilities. He can back up as a deep safety. Now it makes it harder to throw the ball.
10th penalty of the night, sets up third down and 17. Jackson wanting to throw, can't find anybody open. Backpedaling all the way back to the 10-yard line, does get away. Throws it downfield, looking for Marcellus Owens. Jump ball situation, and it's incomplete, but here comes pass interference, an easy call for the back judge.
What a play by the junior quarterback, Jackson Waddell.
The ball.
Yeah, and that dreaded underthrown ball for the defender.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, how about that? I mean, that usually works out well for the offense, and I know that I don't want to be a downer, but first of all, you have your quarterback scrambling for his life. Second of all, you don't ever want your quarterback running for his life to begin with. And third of all, that shows that it's not scheme or execution that's gaining yards, which means it's not sustainable. It's just simply that you have a quarterback that's breaking down because it's not like that.
Yeah.
You're just breaking. You need to run the ball. Guthrie does to the.
Not an automatic first down. It's a 15-yard penalty. It's 3rd down and 2. The Jays need 2 yards.
Coach Mick is an absolute wizard, especially when he's in the press box. He notices the drop player I've been mentioning the last couple of downs back at deep safety instead of in his alley. Now, he didn't run the ball to the boundary, but he did throw a little quick pass right where that drop player would have been.
Yeah.
And Kale Kaufman's open. You're forcing a guy that's not supposed to have to be in that position of the field defensively to cover that pass, and because of it, you get a penalty. That's Coach Mick scheming this thing up well.
Ball moves to the 44 in Enid territory. 1st down and 10. Hand off to Gavin. He has a little bit of a hole as he hits the 40, cuts to the 35, down to the 31. Nice run there by Gavin Bryson as he hit the hole, then made a cut back and sped by a defender for a 13-yard pickup.
Yeah, and back to the new age H-back split zone. You see split zone a lot in the college game, where you hand it one way, you have an H-back pulling back opposite where you hand it to them. The running back can either stay on the play side of it or cut back and get behind his lead blocking H-back. This time, Bryson cut back behind.
Just a 1-yard pickup. 2nd down here in the 3rd quarter. All Enid so far, 34-9.
Going back to what's worked, we've seen that double lead out of the H-back with the fullback as well. Double lead for Jacksonville on just a simple quarterback sweep. And Guthrie got about 12 yards on it the first time they ran it, and it was on a 1st down. So Coach Mick going back to what's working.
Gooseby and Gavin also in front. Jackson cuts up at the 25, hit hard at the 24-yard line. A 6-yard pickup. Make it a 3rd down. Marlo Hughes celebrates after applying the hit to Jackson.
Did not realize Jackson just got 6 yards and got the Blue Jays ahead of the chains.
Jackson popped right back up, too.
Yeah, that was a good offensive play, not a good defensive play. That was a good play by Jackson. And again, that was just the double lead sweep with the H-back Dominic Gooseby. Gooseby's a tight end this time. And Guthrie gets good yards
Hughes
to the
came
field.
from a safety spot for that tackle. 3rd down and 3. Jackson comes near side, caught at the 19-yard line. It is a reception for the Blue Jay wideout, 16. That's Gabe Gonzalez, 5'11", 160 senior.
And if, Phil, you're on the sideline, keep your eyes on 26. I want to see if they decide to roll him back down the alley defensively. So let's see if he makes it close.
Justin Adams will check in for Gavin.
Tilting it to where he really can't, because if you have twins to the top, you can't just roll a safety player and not have a safety over the top of it.
Bad snap, but Jackson picks it up as he goes inside the 10. As this one started at the 16-yard line, Jackson made a nightmare into a dream as he's tackled in around the 8-yard line. A 7-yard pickup for Jackson Waddell.
And where did he go to again?
1st and goal.
Back to the boundary, right? And if you watch 26 play, he does not get downhill. He's not aggressive as far as getting a run rate. He's not a run player. So you tilt him.
Adams from the tripped up around yard line. 2nd down and goal. Blue Jays trying to score their 2nd touchdown here in the 3rd quarter after only getting 3 points in the 1st half.
I'm telling you right now, this is a drive that shows just how good Scott Mick is at calling offense. He has absolutely tilted this Enid defense to find the few matchups that favor the Blue Jays, and he has worn them out in the last 2 possessions.
2nd and goal from the 1. Adams stuffed for a 1-yard loss. So the Jays will have to try it again here on 3rd down and goal.
Jackson may be mad at himself that he didn't pull that ball out and run around the end to Phil's side there back to the boundary. That's been the boundary plays have been what's worked, and that would have been where Jackson would have pulled it and ran in. See if he goes to it here.
3rd down and goal from the 2. Gavin Bryson back in there. Dane Jenkins in the backfield as well. Flag thrown by the referee.
Is Jackson in there? Gavin playing
Gavin
quarterback.
Wildcat.
Probably, yeah. Wildcat.
Blue Jays are clapping. This one might be going against the Plainsmen. They'll be moving to the 1-yard line if it is. We'll have 2 shots at it.
Yeah.
Flag came from the far side official too. Referee having a hard time with his body pack.
Yeah, he sure is.
Illegal substitutions to call on Enid.
Enid may have done that on purpose just to get a breather to make an adjustment.
Gavin
Bryson
Bryson
goal line defense.
in there at Wildcat. Dane Jenkins will lead block for him. Gavin's into the end zone. Touchdown, Blue Jays. Gavin Bryson with the 2nd touchdown of the night. Blue Jays pull within 19 with the PAT upcoming.
Can't tell you how good of a job Coach Mick did on that drive, tilting that Enid defense and getting the right safeties in the right spot and then running it back to the softest part of that Enid defense. Wonderful job X and O-wise, and the Blue Jays executed.
Blue Jays will go for the PAT. Last PAT went over the head of Vargas. Jackson's the holder. Jackson dropped the snap but got it right back, and the PAT is no good. Jays struggling tonight on the PATs. 34-15, Jays within 19. 1:16 to play here in the third quarter. Timeout. This is Blue Jay football on Hot 93.7 FM KSBI.
She's your mom, and you want to do your best. And at Golden Age Nursing Home and Ash Street Senior Living, we know just how difficult it is to make choices when it comes to your loved one's needs, and we can help. You'll find caring, supportive staff members and a full range of healthcare services. You'll also find a commitment to quality throughout all of our nursing home and healthcare agencies. 014 or Ash Street Senior Living at 28.
The Fellowship of Christian Athletes, integrity and values in the face of an often confusing world. What we all have in common is our love for Jesus Christ and our desire to share our faith with others. Because as long as there are sports, there will be a Fellowship of Christian Athletes. To learn more, call 1-800-289-0909 or visit fca.org.
Blue Jays score for the second time here in this third quarter. Gavin Bryson on the Wildcat. John Vance Motor scoring favorable right now. The Jays have
trying to get, and I'm telling you, we'll take it down the field here in just a second. Get his thoughts, but when you have a team like Guthrie, we'll get to that here in a second.
Vargas kicks right to left. His last kick went into the end zone. The same thing will happen here. It'll be first down and 10. Plainsman from the 20.
But when you have a team that has no margin for error, talent-wise, like the Blue Jays don't, as an offensive coordinator, you have to be spot on as far as tilting the field. When Coach Mick was able to tilt Mario Hughes and get him to be the one deep safety and then go back to the boundary, good job, very proud of the guys to make this team better.
First play for Enid, not much, 2 yards. By the way, that Blue Jay drive, 14 plays. Took 5 minutes and 46 seconds off the clock.
You would think as we go into a minute third quarter, this is where Enid gets very vanilla, starts running the ball a lot. This is where the Guthrie defense, almost like a scrimmage setting, can work on getting physical and playing the run very physically within they're back to their 50 front here. You see that getting physical.
Second down, 8. Hand off to Marlo Hughes. Hit behind the line of scrimmage. It's going to be a 2-yard loss back there.
Back just kind of going, and Guthrie X and O and out X and O on the other team. And then Coach Beebe back to his 50 front with the nose guard. The heck with all this 40 front nickel stuff, right?
Third down and 10. Scrimmager will throw for it. Steps up in the pocket. Trying to outrun 4 Blue Jays. Looks like he's going to do it. 25-30, 35-40. Out of bounds with 9 seconds to play in the third quarter.
Yeah, and it's just tough. I mean, it's just tough. I'm going to say it. I mean, you can scheme it, but the Blue Jays just are not at this level as athletic as they've been in the past. Am I wrong there?
No.
I mean, they had everything fit up. Everything was defensed perfectly. As a defensive coordinator, there's nothing you can do differently on that play. Just got outran.
First down and 10, final play of the quarter. Hand off Marlo Hughes at midfield, running over Blue Jays, carrying Blue Jays all the way to the 42, and that's the way we're going to end the quarter. Blue Jays scored twice, but still behind the scoreboard by 19 points, 34-15. We'll come back with fourth quarter action. You're listening to Guthrie Blue Jay football on Hot 93.7 FM KSBI.
Hey, Blue Jay fans, Eskridge Chevrolet is a proud supporter of Guthrie High School sports. This season, Eskridge Chevrolet at I-35 in Guthrie is cheering you the whole way and will help you score a game-winning deal in getting the new or used vehicle that you need. Don't worry about your credit history. Eskridge Chevy can get you approved. Come see us at Eskridge Chevrolet. Just a short drive to I-35 in the new Chevy, or visit eskridgechevy.com.
I guess every such flavor someone could ever want.
This is basically
For sour blue raspberry plans world domination.
well, not if
Hey, sour, come to the sour side.
It just got colorful with new slush flavors like blue raspberry made with Nerds morning drink style.
Sonic at I-35 and Highway 33.
This is how you Sonic.
Sure, to Guthrie Broadcasting this. Obviously, we have to have a video coordinator for that, and that guy is Kevin Roach.
He's the coordinator?
Whatever you want to call him. He's the executor. How do you say that?
Okay, we'll go with that.
All right, and Enid's run four running backs out there, right? And they're all been big, except for one guy. He just came in and he said, I like that little running back the best. I wonder why he said that, huh?
I don't know. He might have a couple little guys in the household. First down and 10 as we begin the fourth quarter here. Enid on top, 34-15. Scrimmager to look to throw. Far side broken up nicely. As able to jump the route there was Hector Gooseby. Looked like he might have been able to pick that one off, but was just able to get there to knock it away on a nice defensive play.
Dominique Gooseby's younger brother. You hate to say little brother anymore, the way these kids live. Strong. A lot of times it's not true. But this is trips to the boundary. This is different.
Flag. Looks like a false start on the offensive line, I think.
Usually, whenever you run multiple receivers to the boundary side, the trips in this case, you're trying to open up space to run some kind of option play back to the field and just use your
yards. Second down 10, now back to the Blue Jay 41-yard line.
Yep, there you go.
Scrimmager, play action, throws it on the run, near side caught at the 40, 35 near side, 35, pushed out of bounds. Enid picks up a good chunk of yards there. They needed 15, they get 18 for the first down.
Knew that was coming. Whenever you line up trips to a boundary side, something tricky is coming back to the field. This time it was a bootleg, and it was what you call a V-whip by the single to the field side. They're back to their normal trips to the wide side of the field this time.
Flags again.
That's in essence
against the Plainsmen.
A new age waggle play, and we saw them run waggle on the second play tonight. And basically what a waggle is you try to tilt the field to the one side, you fake a run to it, then your quarterback bootlegs to the other, and you have a tight end each back, receiver running a whip route or whatever, singled up against a linebacker, and usually that's to the advantage of the offense. You see it at every level, and it works at every level, and Enid has done a good job running it multiple different ways this evening.
First down and 15 for the Plainsmen. Marlo Hughes up the middle. He'll go from the 33 to the 31. 2-yard pickup. Enid working the ground game, working the game clock. 11:28 to play in this one. Enid jumped down to a 14-0 lead. Never looked back on the scoreboard.
This is just what I would call efficient. It just doesn't seem like, of course, they've made two what you would consider drop-dead mistakes tonight. But play after play after play, when you're going to run 100 and some odd plays, two of them eventually are going to be bad. So they've been very efficient. There's the screen.
And it's incomplete. I think the running back saw Troy Branson. Marlo Hughes saw Troy Branson coming. It goes through his hands. It's incomplete. Fourth down and 13 upcoming for Enid from their own 31 yard. Let's see if they keep their offense on the
a play side of a play, run themselves out of it. Troy knew his responsibility, played it very well.
Scrimmager and the Plainsmen will go for it on 14. Roland trying to look for a receiver to get open. He'll take off with it. He'll get down to the 25, and it's a hard hit as helmet is lost, and here comes a flag thrown.
I think that's when you throw the flag because you see the helmet go off. Now you discuss it as a group of officials and determine whether it actually was a foul or not. I think you'll see a conference here.
Trenton Scannell had a huge hit on him. Nothing. I mean, Scrimmager was running for his life, and everyone was kind of running everywhere, and they kind of ran all into each other. Yeah. I don't think anything was on purpose, obviously, there, and see if they're going to wave this off or they're going to mark it off.
Yeah, wave it off.
They are going to wave it off. That's good officiating.
Yeah, good officiating, and you kind of figured they threw it. You see that in a then you talk about it where you can actually go one way or the other with it. Phil, I think that was a good call, wasn't it? That was right in front of you. You have his headphones on.
And it should be Blue Jay football. That was fourth down, and they're going to wave the flag, so it's first down for the Blue Jays.
Yeah.
Officials were confused for just a few moments, but Jays take over 10 minutes and 48 seconds to play in the ball game.
This is all about next week and the rest of this season at this point. I think, well, I mean, I say that. 19 points in 11 minutes is not certainly insurmountable.
Jays will take over from their own 24.
Guthrie's capable of scoring 19 points in 11 minutes. The question would be, are they capable of holding Enid to no points from here on out?
Blue Jays have had some success here offensively in the second half. They have scored twice, so see if they can keep that momentum going as Jackson Waddell and Gavin Bryson will fill up the backfield with 3 receiver set.
4 vertical routes. You have a tight end and 3 receivers. This has worked against a single hop.
Tight end on the left side, hand off to Gavin up the middle. Had a hole there for a brief second, but it collapsed quickly. It'll go from the 24 to the 26 for Gavin.
Guthrie runs back to the boundary again. You put the tight end to the field side. That rolls number 3 over the top of the tight end. Then you run back to the boundary, which means all you got to do is hit a crease pass the linebacker, and you have a lot of good yards.
Officially 3 yards, so it's second down and 7. Gavin will get it again. Wanted to go left, nothing there, so it goes up the middle, across the 30 to the 31-yard line. Another 4-yard pickup, so they'll bring up a 3rd down and 3 play.
Enid's made an adjustment. Marlo Hughes is no longer in the game at safety for them. He looked gassed. He run the ball a lot for them. He looked gassed last defensive possession, so they brought in a new safety for him. And Guthrie now has a 3rd and 3.
From the 31, 2 receivers to the far side now. Marcellus Owens in motion from left. Offsides on a little too soon. So a 3rd down and 8 play. Dylan Duller got caught there by the official.
To make this set where you have the 4 verticals with the tight end, to take it to the next level against good teams like Enid, what you're going to have is a tight end that can present a threat down the field to catch the ball, where you can play action. And, you know, if they're going to roll safeties over to the twin side, to the field side, and you have a tight end back to the boundary, you're going to have to be able to throw it to your tight end if he's going to be on the field.
11th penalty of the night for the Blue Jays for 95 yards. Sets up a 3rd down and 8 play from the 26. Jackson has time. Goes down center of the field looking for Owens and overshoots him by several yards. Jays will have a 4th down and 8 from their own 26. Here comes David Vargas in the punting team.
Guthrie loves those wheel routes off of 9 routes. Ohio's a deep one, not necessarily a 9 route, but just off of just running a wheel behind another receiver where the inside guy runs a wheel. I did it to the top. Had enough time to throw the ball, but Enid on 3rd and long had 2 deep safeties in and were able to cover everything.
David Vargas at his 13-yard line. Snaps over the head of Vargas again. Picks it up in the end zone. Punts it away. It's a line drive. Takes a big Blue Jay bounce at the 40, 45. This one's going to go across the midfield. It'll be down at the 48-yard line. So snaps have been an issue tonight. David Vargas, though, has getting the Blue Jays out of trouble by just going, retrieving and kicking it away. He kicks it off for 26 yards, no return.
Yeah, the first time he did that was for 22 yards, and you go, well, that's not a whole lot, but if you take where he actually kicked it from and the yardage they could have lost, that only goes down as 26, but that could have, in essence, that's a 50, 60-yard punt.
Yeah, it's basically 52 yards in a hurry.
No doubt.
1st and 10 for the Plainsmen from the 48-yard line. See if they keep it on the ground. Scrimger unable to hold on to the snap. Does get it, though, and then it's hit for a loss behind the line. By Campbell Leach to stay with it. The tackle for a loss. It's a loss of 6. 2nd down 16 as we go under 9 minutes.
What formation Enid was on the first play, formation they're in here on the
Handoff Hughes up the middle. He'll get to the 45, 3-yard pickup. 3rd down and 13 upcoming.
You can tell this offense believes in Coach Hayes and the guys that have put this offense in and what they're doing, because they execute it like they believe every play they run is going to work.
Enid at the line of scrimmage. 3rd down and 13. Scrimmager to throw. Goes downfield, has a man open, but overshoots him by a couple of yards. C.J. Ward on the coverage. 4th down 13 for the Plainsmen.
That's just backyard day football. You tilt the field, you bring receivers to one side, and then you have one receiver back to the other. You see, tell him to run as far as he can and just throw it to him and see if he can out-jump somebody. And Scrimmager just over a touch. See if C.J. Ward can make something exciting happen here.
Enid will punt for the first time here tonight. Scrimmager, the punter, back at his 31-yard line. He'll roll to the right side and will punt it at the last second. Gives his teammates plenty of time to get down there. Blue Jays will let it bounce. Picked up by CJ. Inside the 20. Moves it across the 1-yard line. Take over at the 7-minute 49-second mark of the fourth quarter. Again, Guthrie down 19 points, 34-15.
And you don't mind CJ fielding that ball, because the rule of thumb, Coach as a punt returner, is you can field it on one bounce. That's all you get. If you have more than one bounce.
Across the 30, 35, 41 guy to beat. He's going to get him.
Back behind the pulling H-back.
They get the edge to midfield, and the guy rips his helmet off.
You know, those are the two plays that Guthrie's ran out of that H-back set. They run that ghost where they pull a H-back and guard, the G8, that's why they call it ghost, and then they have run that double lead sweep with their quarterback, and it's been successful.
Jackson's going to have, should have been, was not seen though. Kel Coffin, 2nd down and 4 play.
Good misdirection play. Guthrie's done a good job.
Gavin Bryson now 17 carries tonight, 82 yards. Goes to the left side to block. First down for Justin Adams. Needed the 45. He'll get to the 43. Clock stops at 6:03 for the change of
Not necessarily lead, more of an ISO. You're not really blocking down, kicking out. More of an ISO where you just block straight ahead and let a fullback get up in on a linebacker and just try to get 1 yard. And Justin Adams, the perfect back.
And Here's
the bonus pulling.
It's Justin Adams taking it from the 43-yard line down to the 37. A 6-yard pickup for Justin. Justin now 10 carries for 40 yards on the night.
So you have your left tackle pulling back to the right. You have your H-back on the left, lead blocking. You kind of switch positions, and you really don't know which way the play is going. It sets up well.
4. Justin Adams gets the call again. Jays need the 33, but only to the 35-yard line is Adams to get to. So it'll be a 3rd down and 2 play for Coach Mick and the Blue Jay offense.
What all that pulling does, either with a guard, tackle, or an H-back, it keeps the defense honest. You can't just read, you can't read a pulling guard like the defense could and have that guard follow you to the play. You have to stay honest to your side of the formation, so it just means that you have hat on hat offensively.
3rd down and 2. Adams, call again, bounces off a lineman, cuts it up across the 35, gets to the 34, just a 1-yard pickup, so it'll be 4th down and 1. Stay tuned after the
best way to stop pulling up, just to get penetration and to bubble everything and make everybody run backward. That's what Enid did on that last play.
Wildcat play with Dane Jenkins in the backfield leading the way for Gavin Bryson. Lowers the shoulder, needs 1, gets a 1.5 yards, and the Blue Jays will get a fresh set of downs. The clock stops for now at the 4:11 mark.
See if we got RPOs now.
Across the 30, and he'll get the 100 rushing mark here tonight.
Notice who is leading for him. Big left tackle Jamal Ronis. That's how athletic he is. He's able to pull from his left tackle spot, get all the way back to the right, and lead block for Gavin Bryson. That is an athletic play for a big left tackle.
Jamal, right tackle a year ago, moving over to the left tackle this year as the Jays have the entire offensive line outside of Jamal from a year.
It's your lock.
Marcellus ran the wrong route, and now we're about to have a late hit on the Plainsman, roughing the quarterback 44, Ivy Mace.
You're just hoping to get one of those secondary guys as you run the ball down the field well. Just trying to get their eyes in the backfield a little bit and beat them on a deep route to the boundary again. Your best receiver against whoever they put out there in single coverage. Guthrie got it, and because of it, they're going to get a penalty.
Tonight, Jays will move half the distance to the goal. They will spot the ball inside the 15-yard line at the 14. 3 minutes and 17 seconds left in this one. Guthrie down 34-15, trying to score a 3rd time offensively here in the second half. Snap, hands it off to Troy Branson. He'll get his first carry of the night for a few yards.
This may sound odd. It's 34-15, 3:07 to go in the game, but in my opinion, from an X and O perspective, from a execution perspective, this second half is the best half of football Guthrie's played in a long, long time. It's been well executed, and I think it will, as I said earlier, pay dividends for this Guthrie team going down further in this season.
Gavin, maybe a yard at most on the second down and 8 play. No pickup officially. 2:39 to go in this one. Jays obviously trying to score here, but keeping it on the ground for the most part.
And doing a good job of it. Enid really doesn't know who's pulling, where they're going to. Is it going to the play side? Is Guthrie going to cut back? Are they going to double sweep? Are they going to run split zone? What are they going to do?
Third down and 8 from the 12-yard line of the Plainsmen. Hand off to Gavin. Finds a hole across the 5. And the Blue Jays are back on the scoreboard. And for the first time this year, strike up the band. The night.
All I've got to say about that is congratulations, Coach Mick. He's an absolute wizard. And with a team that was reeling here in the second half that could have easily quit on the road, he schemed this thing up and done a great job for him.
Major Blue Jay down on the field in the end zone. It's got to be close. Numbers to right for a brief moment, but walking off on his own power, as he averages 4.8 yards a carry tonight. Blue Jays have run Gavin, Jackson, Justin Adams, and Troy Branson for the running game tonight. Kay Guggesberg, who had 3 catches in the ball game, really has much of a factor here in the second half. Does lead the Blue Jays in receiving, though. 3 catches, 36 yards. Marcellus Owens with 2 catches. Gabe Gonzalez with the catch. Brody Hinkle with the catch. Jays will go for it on the 2-point attempt here. 34-21 is the score. For the Jays, Dominique Gooseby with a 2-point catch, and the Jays pull within 11, 34-23, 2:07 to play in the ball game. We'll take a timeout from Enid. This is Blue Jay football on Hot 93.7 FM KSBI.
Sometimes you need immediate care and can't get in to see your doctor during regular hours. Emergency Immediate Care without an appointment and get the medical attention you need at a lower cost and with shorter waiting time than your local emergency room. The Mercy Convenient Care is located at 2919 South Division. For any concerns, call 405-282-6301. Services are provided by Mercy Hospital, Logan County.
Looking to go inside Blue Jay Athletics? Log on to GuthrieSportsPage.com and get all the information on all the Blue Jay events. GuthrieSportsPage.com is your source for all Blue Jay information. Visit the ever-growing SoundCloud page and listen to pre- and post-game interviews, player spotlights, and complete game recaps. GuthrieSportsPage.com provides a way to listen to Blue Jays streaming live on the World Wide Web and has pre- and post-game stories for your reading enjoyment. GuthrieSportsPage.com, your source for all Blue Jay information.
Blue Jays back into the end zone. Gavin Bryson does it for the 3rd time as the Blue Jays go 13 plays. Takes 78 yards. 2 seconds to do it. That has been your John Vance Motors scoring summary. John Vance Motors, where it's comfortable to buy a truck.
Said it a minute ago, and I meant it. Great job scheming it up, great job executing, and great job sticking with it and trying to get better in a situation that was just blah, not a whole lot of fun, not a whole lot of energy. Blue Jays got something in the second half. Would you agree with that?
No doubt. Enid calls a timeout. They were seeing how the Blue Jays lineups for this, what we assume an onside kick here.
Phil, you've seen it firsthand on the sideline as far as energy and that kind of thing. Wouldn't you agree that although there are no such thing as moral victories in Guthrie, Oklahoma, and with get a couple onside kicks, you never know, but Guthrie, win, lose, or draw, has gotten something out of this second half. Would you agree?
They got better in the second half, guys. They competed harder. We figured some things out. Our conditioning, I will say this, our conditioning is better than Enid's. Our kids are out there still going at it. The attitude's gotten better, energy's gotten better. So this second half, the kids got better.
After the ball game, our Terra Insure Group post-game show. We'll have our FCA player of the game, along with the John Vance Motors game interviews, plays of the game, stats of the game. Out of bounds.
The chance to kick it again. I think you can decline that penalty anyways.
So the Enid offense will come on, trying to evaporate this 2 minutes and 7 seconds off the game clock.
Hopefully they'll run the ball 3 times, and that'll be the end of it. Although down just 11, man, you got 3 timeouts. You keep playing to win here, obviously.
Enid getting ready to run play number 72.
Yep. And out of 72, I'm going to say at least 71 of them have this exact formation.
Jays have ran 66.
Yeah. Second half's been good.
Hughes breaking tackles. Leach with the tackle out to the 49, 5-yard pickup. And there's the first of 3 timeouts used by Blue Jay head coach Kelly Beebe. 1:59 to play.
I do not think Coach Beebe, having said what we said about the second half, I don't think that he'll be overly ecstatic about the way his Blue Jay defense stopped the run. Would you agree with that, Phil?
I don't think he'll be happy about the outcome of the game, but I do think will be happy about how the kids competed in the second half and how they fought the whole ball game. I do think Coach will be positive about that.
Yeah.
It was 28-3 at halftime. Guthrie has scored 3 times. He has scored 1 time here in the second half.
And I think it's fair to say too,
20-6. If you're counting on the
Enid
scoreboard.
throttled it down some.
Sure.
But having said that, it doesn't matter. I mean, you have to stop the plays if you're a defense, and Guthrie's done it.
And Enid's 1 touchdown was a 76-yard run, so they haven't really been able to put a drive together.
And that was a backbreaker. Right after Guthrie scored. If you don't win, I think you can look at 2 plays. Dane Jenkins, after he had the interception, fumbled it back, and then
yeah, there was another one, wasn't there?
the long run.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I got preoccupied. The long run by Hughes right after Guthrie had scored.
This is Hughes again here on second down and 5. He gets to the 45-yard line. Needed 5, got 6, and Enid, I think, would come close to taking 3 knees here.
I don't think you
maybe run it one more time.
Now that you only have 2 timeouts, down 2 scores, I don't think you use your timeouts here unless you're just trying to make a statement to your kids that we will never stop trying to win a football game.
That said, it would be tough sledding, so I think it's best just to let this one run on out.
At some point, it becomes common sense to let her go.
Enid, no huddle. I don't know if I mentioned that earlier.
Does anybody huddle anymore?
I don't know.
Coach Mick was actually calling plays last Friday instead of hand signals. And he turned around and goes, man, I didn't realize how hard it was to actually call plays instead of just signal them in. Said I wouldn't know because we signal them all in on the defensive side. So.
Hughes goes from the 45 to the 35, another 10-yard run for him. Minute 19.
We get a first down to stop the clock there.
Yep. I think he can officially take 3.
Some creative clock keeping can keep that from happening. Well, they set the clock fast in the college game now, don't they?
Enid, 562 yards of offense. Marlo Hughes, by the way, 14 carries, 193 yards.
The clock stops for a first down in the college game, but not for long, man. They set that thing and away they go.
By the way, Will Phillips only 8 carries for 92 yards before his injury. Enid takes a timeout. Well, hey, we'll take one with them. 53 seconds to go in the ball game. Guthrie down 11, 34-23. This is Blue Jay football on Hot 93.7 FM, KSBI.
She's your mom, and you want to do your best. And at Golden Age Nursing Home and Ash Street Senior Living, we know just how difficult it is to make choices of services. You'll also find a commitment to quality throughout all of our nursing homes. Call at 282-0144 or Ash Street Senior Living at 282-2000. You want to do your best, and so do we.
For decades, Guthrie Athletics has been a source of pride in the Guthrie community. Hi, I'm Merritt Roberts, and I've been a Blue Jay supporter and Farm Bureau agent for many, many years.
I want to wish all the Guthrie student athletes not only a great season on the field, course, and accessible Farm Bureau
620-4920 and ask for Merritt. Simply stop by and let's talk about the Jays.
Enid Plainsman, one offensive snap away from putting this one in the books here.
Putting a bow on it, huh? Is that what you call that?
One more snap of the football, and this one will be over.
Is there an advertised eating joint around here?
They're not a sponsor,
okay.
but.
So the answer is no?
Oh, yeah, sorry, no. Okay. Bluntly, no.
So we'll have to go to an unadvertised eating joint. There you
yes,
go.
Yeah. That's the final snap, and that's the ball game. On the first one and 4 in a row, but they get back on the winning side as they defeat the Blue Jays. Final score 34-23. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back after the 60-second timeout. Get set for the Terror Insure Group post-game show. This is Blue Jay football on Hot 93.7 FM KSBI.
These tenders have always been my number one. Crispy, tasty, crazy delicious. They rule.
Celebrate Golden Chick's golden anniversary with Golden Tenders. Pick up the $6 crispy hand-battered tenders, fries or mashed potatoes, a hot roll, gravy or sauce, and a 20-ounce drink. All for just $6.
50 years. You rock, Golden Chick.
Golden Chick.
Coming up next, it's the Terra Insure Group postgame show featuring stats, highlights, plays of the game, on-field interviews, and the play of the game.
F&M Bank is a neighborhood bank with 8 branches and 17 ATM locations across 4 counties in central Oklahoma. F&M Bank can help you with all of your personal, business, and agricultural banking needs, or simply add efficiency to your business. Check out F&M Bank with online and mobile banking at www.fmbank.com or download the app and have services in the palm of your hand. F&M Bank is a neighbor you can count on. F&M Bank, member FDIC.
Formation, Marlo Hughes. Scrimmager between Hughes and Scrimmager, and Dominic got a long Hebrew Selby Stadium, Enid, Oklahoma. Just about 70-minute drive from my favorite town in Oklahoma, Guthrie, Oklahoma.
Well, and I'll tell you another thing at Enid is it's always the answer to the crossword puzzles. If you do crossword puzzles, Enid is an answer in almost all of them.
Enid defeats the Guthrie Jays here tonight in the season opener, week 0. High score of 34-23. And real quick, you know how Enid got its name? There was a sign on the highway back in the old days that said "Dine." Turn around backwards.
No kidding.
Enid.
You know how Retrop got its name?
How who got this name?
Retrop, Oklahoma.
Oh no.
They took Porter and went backward.
As we mentioned, this is a Terror Insure Group post-game show as the Guthrie Blue Jays are huddled up to our left. Enid fans student section have come onto the field to celebrate the victory tonight as the Blue Jays drop it here tonight to the Enid Plainsman final score 34-23. And Enid made it a 14-0 ball game, and then a 14-3 game, and then 28-3 at halftime. And over the Plainsman, 3 touchdowns to 1 touchdown in the second half. But not,
very good second
but
half.
Not enough to overcome
very good
the deficit.
second half. I mean, it was a second half that you can carry momentum into, and I'll promise you, as Phil listens to the post-game interview, or not interview, but talk by Coach Beebe and all the other coaches, I'll promise you that's what they're talking about right now, is that this second half was the second half where you showed some guts. You could have quit, you didn't. We found some X and O scheme offensively that proved to be effective. We played hard on defense, shut down the run other than that one big long run. And from there, you just take the positives and try to get better into next week.
In a matter of moments, we'll have our on-field interviews here in the TIG post-game show. By the way, TIG, Terra Insure Group, 2403 South Division. Log on right now, get the insurance quote, give them a call when you see it, when you like it. Go to www.tigok.com. Lifetime Blue Jays, Steph Robin, Chase ladies up front are the real MVPs.
We have Gavin Bryson ready on the field. If we could throw some headphones. I don't know how we're going to do this. If Phil's going to take it or.
Phil, ready. All right, here we go.
Gavin Bryson. We're going to, when I'm done here, I'm going to in the headgear. We got some equipment malfunctions on the interview, but player of the game, Gavin Bryson.
By the fellowship, you get a victory, but got down early, couldn't overcome it, but thought you guys played really hard there in that second half.
Our coach gave us a pretty good speech at halftime, told us not to give up because we weren't out of the game. We came in and made some plays, but they got out on us too early, so it was kind of tough to come back.
I know it didn't go your way, but second half-wise, scheme-wise, X and O-wise, the way you guys played was excellent offensively, but that's just where it starts with you. You have a big role defensively, offensively, and then just mentally from a leadership perspective. What's that like for you this year?
It's been a pretty tough transition, but I'm working on my conditioning, film, just leading my team, and hopefully we'll get better throughout the season.
Gavin, you a year ago at the receiver spot now, but move into the backfield. What's that transition been like for you? And I cringe at defensive tackles and linebackers from up here. I can only imagine what's in the backfield. But how's that transition been for you so far? Obviously, it's still early, but
I thought. I've always had a running back type of mindset, be patient in the backfield, wait on my blockers to get set up and hit the hole as fast and as hard as I can. So it hasn't been a tough transition. I like the transition.
Like I said earlier, I know you didn't win, so that's not mentality-wise. I know you well enough to know that you're not happy about that, but got to ask you, how did it feel to get in the end zone for the first time this year?
That feeling doesn't trump the loss at all. So we just got to get in the film room, get in practice, work hard, and get Shawnee next week.
Well, Gavin, over 100 yards rushing tonight. Our numbers are official here, but 21 carries, 101 yards, and Casey mentioned those 3 touchdowns. Obviously, you can't hang too low on this one because you got Shawnee coming, and always fun to play in front of the home crowd.
Yes, sir, it is. It's a whole different atmosphere. It's pretty hard for opponents to play in our house because it's so loud, and we have real grass, and I don't know. It's going to be a tough one for them anyway.
All right, Gavin. Well, get hydrated, get the soreness out, and we'll talk to you next week.
Yes, sir.
All right, that is Gavin Bryson, the FCA player of the game next week. One of the highlights tonight from Gavin Bryson. 3 receivers set. Gavin Bryson back there with Jackson Waddell. First down and goal. Little draw play to Gavin. Across the 5 into the end zone. Touchdown, Gavin Bryson. And the Blue Jays are on the scoreboard for the first time offensively here tonight. Gavin per carry. So not too bad for your first game as a running back to go 100 yards.
And what impressed me is, when you don't have a whole lot of experience running the ball, it's not the athletic ability, it's not any of that. It's being able to set up your blocks, staying patient enough to let your blocks develop in front of you, and then showing that burst once you find the hole. He showed that like he's been running his whole life. He mentioned it. He's felt like he's a running back his whole life. He has that type of mentality. So I think that's really helped him as far as making that transition.
Enid defeats the Blue Jays here tonight by a final score of 34-23. We'll take another timeout as we work our way to the on-field interview presented by John Vance with Blue Jay head coach Kelly Beebe. We'll have that after the timeout. This is the post-game show.
Group, you'll be helped by lifelong Blue Jay fans. Jason Herzl, Dennis Oakes, and Seth Robbins. They aren't limited to any single provider. They'll work with you to find the carrier and the plan that fits you best. Terra Insure Group is an independent insurance agency specializing in home, auto, and commercial lines of insurance. Terra Insure Group at 293-4880. Stop by at 2403 South Division or visit them online at Bring Your World.
After this, we bring you more from the stadium as the Terra Insure Group postgame show continues.
I'm Brian Circle with Interbank. Professionals at Interbank. Our decision makers and the people who serve you work closely together to provide responsible service and personal attention. We appreciate your business and look forward to seeing our friends in Guthrie and the surrounding communities at the Blue Jay football games. We're located at 224 East Oklahoma, or you can reach us by phone at 282-0470. Member FDIC.
Sometimes you need immediate care and can't get in to see your doctor during regular hours. With Mercy Convenient Care in Guthrie, you can walk in without an appointment and get the medical attention you need at a lower cost and with shorter waiting time in your local emergency room. Mercy Convenient Care is South Division.
For any concerns, call 405-282-6301. Services are provided by Mercy Hospital, Logan County. Choose Guthrie. Choose Mercy.
Scrimmager, play action, rolls to the far side. Here comes the Blue Jay pressure, throws it downfield. It's intercepted. A tackle cannot, but he saves a touchdown as he has the interception all the way to the 8-yard line. First down and 10, Blue Jays. Welcome back, Terra Insure Group.
Huge stop, no doubt about that.
Terra Insure Group postgame show here in Enid, Oklahoma, D. Bruce Selby Stadium. We now go back to our on-field interviews presented by John Vance. Obviously, difficult getting behind 14 points and obviously 28-3 at halftime, but I thought you guys came out second half and competed, outscoring Enid.
Huge momentum shift there when Dane came in front of that ball and looked like we were fixing to make it 14-10 or had a great chance to, and just kind of ebb and flow. 1 and 26 were as big as any defensive lineman we had and ran pretty well. And I thought we were extremely physical tonight, all night long. And I thought our conditioning was great. I hated that their big tailback left the game. I talked to coach, said it was just an ankle, and they should get his services back. We had over 50 plays defensively in the first half. But I told the kids at halftime, I said, guys, the only thing that would disappoint me tonight was to see you not finish this ball game and give up every ounce of effort you got. We converted a couple of fourth downs. We got a 2-point conversion. Damn near, Garner got an onside kick. And they responded really well. And hate the loss, proud of the effort.
Coach, and I got to say, from a defensive perspective, when you play a team that has an experienced quarterback that just always seems to make the right decision, puts the ball in the right spot each and every play, then can break a play down that you have defensed well, it's a nightmare to try to scheme against it.
Well, it's all concepts, and if you get enough in there to try to get that big back on the ground, either whether it's 1 or 26, then you're vulnerable in the pass game, and they're throwing timing routes, quick outs, and then they got fast athletes. So, yeah, it's very difficult. We masked inside of a 4-2-5 concept, and we ran some 3-4 concepts, and we ran some 5-2 concepts. We decided we're going to trade pressure for coverage and see what happens. And their answer is just to bang that zone against the pressure. And that was the break. That was the kind of the dagger there early. We got them. Big long run by Mario there. We got up too far up the field with our defensive end spot. Linebacker got sealed off. Their offensive line is good. Those three on the right side, and their feet are pretty good. 295, 325, and 285. So, great ball club for us to get started with. I only see us getting better week in, week out. Came out of this thing pretty healthy. It was a physical football game, both sides, but they had people living the game. I thought our conditioning was pretty good. Our technique's got to get better. Our deep snapping, one of those things we knew coming in. We've had junior Bob for 3 years, and it's just one of those deals. It's going to happen in a high pressure situation. But now that you're in it, here we go. I thought that Marcus did a great job. So, it's not going to be as bad as we thought on film, and some things are going to be better than what we thought. And I'll promise you one thing: this group will rebound, and bounce back, and we'll be ready to go work. And Friday we'll be ready to play Shawnee at home.
You mentioned it, Coach, but I got to say, and not to get too X and O-ish, because I know that gets boring for people, but in the second half, Coach Nick was an absolute wizard. And back to the weak spots of the Enid defense. That was an awesome job he did there in the second half, X and O-wise, and a great job executing by your offense.
Well, and he and I were talking about it just there as the game. We still had our headsets on. He said, Coach, he said, I may have never been more proud of an offense that we've had here than this bunch in the second half. And Coach always done a great job coming off. He got a bit more freedom now that he can communicate while they're on the field with them to make those adjustments. And I think that component of what we do will just get better. So, absolutely, all these assistant coaches do an outstanding job. They're all dedicated and they work extremely hard and give their best effort for these young
to get back to Jelsma for our home opener next week against a team very familiar in the Shawnee Wolves.
Can't wait to get back to the Rock, and Shawnee will be another great opponent. You know, we're 6A, like Enid's 6A large now by enrollment.
Yeah.
Shawnee's 6A 2 by enrollment. Ponca's 6A 2 by enrollment. And we battle tested. We stay healthy. We'll continue to improve. And I think down the stretch we're going to be an awfully scary football team.
Hey, Coach, we got room on the bus if you want to come back with us Monday right here to this very location.
Well, Casey, I'll be down at the Rock watching the ninth grade. But it'll be nice and cool up here at 5:30, I promise you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Head Coach Kelly Beebe joined us here on the Terra Insure Group postgame show as part of our John Vance Motors on-field interviews, and just about what we thought. Happy with this team in the second half for not quitting and outscoring. You just got yourself behind a hole 28-3 at halftime and just couldn't overcome it to a talent pool.
Yeah, and what you hear in his voice, and of course, being a head coach of what I consider a high-profile program like Guthrie is. I've been in that situation, am in that situation, and what I hear out of his tone of voice and the way he talks is maturity. You know, there's no panic button. It's what do we need to do, what adjustments to make. Let's not over anything. Let's not overreact to anything. And I think, but heard, waves, the maturity that Coach Beebe has grown into in this role. Would you agree with that?
This is Blue Jay football on Hot 93.7 FM.
Sports in our society impacts the young of our nation. Our ministry offers them faith, integrity, an offer for Jesus Christ, and our desire to share our faith with others. Because as long as there are sports, there will be a fellowship of Christian athletes. To learn more, call 1-800-289-0909 or visit fca.org.
Don't go away. More of the Terra Insure Group postgame show in a moment.
Is a proud supporter of Guthrie High School sports. This season, Esprit Chevrolet at I-35 in Guthrie is cheering you the whole way and will help you score a game-winning deal in getting the new or used vehicle that you need. Don't worry about your credit history. Esprit Chevy can get you approved. Come see us at Esprit Chevrolet. Just a short drive to I-35. Call 1-800-NEW-CHEVY or visit espritchevy.com.
Welcome back, Terra Insure Group post-game show here in Enid, the Bruce Selby Stadium. Still quite a few Blue Jay and Plainsmen on the field. Some students out there as well as the Plainsmen go 1-0, Guthrie 4-1. Both teams will be in action next week. As we mentioned, the Guthrie Blue Jays will be at home against the Shawnee Wolves, and then the Enid Plainsmen will take on the Ponca City Wildcats next week. I think that game's in Ponca City. Go through my notes, it's somewhere in here, but it is Enid and Ponca City next week. Guthrie, Shawnee next week. But Blue Jays got down 14-0. David Vargas made a 25-yard field goal to make it a 14-3 ball game, but Enid scored twice in less than a minute to end the second quarter on top, 28-3 at halftime. Guthrie got a touchdown run by Gavin Bryson, made it 28-9, but then a 76-yard run by Marlo Hughes made it a 34-9, and that's the last time Enid would score, as Gavin would score two more times. But a couple of big plays that turned this one around. The Dane Jenkins interception, then fumble was the big one.
No doubt.
Yeah.
And then obviously the big play after that, where Marlo Hughes went after Guthrie had scored, Marlo Hughes went the distance. I'm hearing Phil in the background. I don't know how. His pot's off.
He's on.
Okay.
One of
there
these.
you go.
What's that?
Yeah, there you go. But yeah, two big plays. We mentioned that during the broadcast. Coach Beebe mentioned that, but don't overreact. First 3 games of the year, all in preparation.
Here, go over some of the
running 75 total plays, which definitely wore out that Blue Jay defense throughout the game. 7.6 yards per carry for the Enid Plainsmen, yards per play, excuse me. Total offense for the Jays, 284 yards on 66 plays for the Blue Jays. 51 yards through the air for the Blue Jays on 7 of 16 passing. 100 Enid, most of those coming in the first half. They were 20 of 32 through the air, 9.9 yards per pass. 375 yards on the ground for Enid, 233 for the Blue Jays on 50 carries. 4.7 yards a carry for the Blue Jays, 8.7 quarterback, 20 of 32 for 104 yards, 13-yard touchdown run. Certainly brings that average up. 2 touchdowns for him. Before he went out, Will Phillips, he was the second leading rusher, 8 carries for 92 yards early in the ball game before he was injured. One stat that we pointed out before halftime, Blue Jays were 7 in that first half in third downs. End up 7 of 21 in third down conversions, but 4 of 4 on fourth down for the ball game for the Blue Jays. Enid Plainsmen were 6 of 13, or 46% on third down conversions, and they were 50% on fourth down, 2 of 4. Time possession actually ended up skewing back towards the Jays as they controlled the ball for most of that second half, running the ball well. 27 minutes of possession for the Jays, and some change, and 20 minutes and change for the Enid Plainsmen total time of possession. Those are your stats for the ballgame.
Thank you, Craig. Appreciate that. As we head into our final break of the night, a good reminder, Terra Insure Group, they're an independent insurance agency. They specialize in a whole bunch of things. How about autos, watercraft, RV, homeowners insurance, landlords, renters, all that good stuff, farm and ranch, mobile home business, and life insurance. I depend on them. You should do the same thing as well. Give them a call first thing Monday morning, 293-4880. They're on South Division 2403 South Division. You see them right across the street from the drive-in theater, and of course lifetime Blue Jays, Seth Robbins, Dennis Oaks, Jason Herzl. It doesn't get any better than Terra Insure Group. With that, we're going to take our final timeout, come back and wrap it up. This is the TIG postgame show.
And the plan that fits you best. Terra Insure Group in home, auto, and commercial lines of insurance. Call Terra Insure Group at 293-4880 or stop by at 2403 South Division or visit them online at tigok.com. Terra Insure Group, insuring your world.
All across the 10 to the 5, leaps into the end zone, touchdown. Gavin Bryson. The Blue Jays are back on the scoreboard. And for the first time this year, strike up the band. Blue Jays go down to the Enid Plainsmen tonight. Final score 34-23. Final segment here of the Terra Insure Group post-game show. Blue Jays have to thank the 70-minute trip back home and get ready for the Shawnee Wolves, a familiar opponent that the Jays have seen over the years to the junior high ranks. Obviously here in the high school ranks, Blue Jays won the game a year ago in Shawnee. And so
so did the broadcast crew, by the way.
Yeah, Shawnee working in a new quarterback this year. So we'll see what the Jays can do in their home opener
out there, obviously from a year ago, but they're going to have one of these offenses that we see, these modern-day offenses. They're going to be able to score. Guthrie's going to have to match.
One score I want to report real quick tonight. In Jinx, Oklahoma, the Jinx Trojans 10, Owasso Rams 48. So Bill Lincoln gets his first win. I think that his last one.
You don't think so?
In the Owasso red and white. By the way, if you want to watch some Oklahoma high school football tomorrow on the national scene, Broken Arrow and Tulsa Union play on ESPN 11 o'clock. In Tulsa Union, by far the most talented team in the state of Oklahoma. Division I talent all over the field. See how that one is on the ESPN 11 o'clock.
To watch that for more than just watching high school football. The big 4-star receiver, C.J. Moore for Tulsa Union, has committed to play football for Oklahoma State. So there's a very large reason for Oklahoma State fans to watch that game.
One other score, Midwest City goes to Muskogee and wins. Final score there tonight, 26-20. Kingfisher friends over there, 42-21. Final score, though, here, Enid takes down the Blue Jays 34-23. Blue Jays will be in action next week inside Gelsman Stadium, 7 o'clock kickoff, 6:30 pregame show right here on 93.7 FM KSBI.
That's not the next time we will talk to you on Hot 93.7, though.
We will be on Wednesday night from 6 to 7 as we bring you the high school advisory group. We will have that, and we'll talk about this game. We'll talk about the Owasso win. Then we got a whole bunch of games to talk about week one. Everybody will be in action next week, so it should be a fun time Wednesday night. We'll talk to you then, and hope you have a great weekend and last weekend without college football as far as OSU is concerned.
Yeah, there's college football tomorrow, but Oregon State plays a couple of games.
Right.
The games I like.
Right.
Is that a wrap?
That is a wrap.
All right.
A big thank you to all of our guys back in that Stillwater studio. Luke leading the charge as he helps us out once again this year. And from all of us here inside the stadium, including Kevin Roach, Craig Fleck, Phil Nichols, Casey Porter, I'm Chris Simmons for the final time here tonight in Oklahoma. The Enid Plainsmen Class 6A ball club take down the Class 5A Guthrie Blue Jays. Last score of 34-23. Our next broadcast will be next Friday night inside the friendly confines of Gelsman Stadium when the Shawnee Wolves come to town. 7 o'clock kickoff, 6:30 pregame show. Until then, have a great weekend, and of course, go Blue Jays!
You've been listening to Guthrie Blue Jay football on the Guthrie Radio Network, home of